What is up, New York Jets fans? A very good evening to all of you. It is once again time for the Midnight Mike Show, coming to you live from the Long Island Sound. I am your late night New York Jets host, Midnight Mike, and I'm excited to be here once again. Saturday night, our flagship show is the show that I want everybody to always tune into because we always have fun on these shows. They always get out of hand. And by the end, when we get to hour two, you never know what to expect. Let's hit that Jets chant to start it off right. Jets, Jets, Jets. All right. So we have a lot to do tonight and a lot of free agency talk that's going to be coming your way. The New York Jets, as far as my list is concerned, and this could be wrong because even today, the New York Jets are just signing guys left and right. But I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 New York Jets signed out of free agency. And then we had a few re-signs that came like Sherwood and whatnot. But you know, they started off pretty strong. Okay. You started off with Justin Fields and Brandon Stevens and Andre Sisco, and you get all the way down to where yesterday and today things get a little questionable. Things get a little bit dicey. And I wonder, I kind of wonder what the New York Jets are thinking. Now, before I address that, what I'd like all of you to do is, while you're here, hit that thumbs up to let people know that we are live. It helps in the algorithms, and I always promote this because I want you to not only do it for my channel in support of me and Maddie and Murdog, but I want you to do it for any channel that you watch, whether you watch videos, live streams, or anything. If you like people's content, the best thing you can do for free is to hit that thumbs up button. What it does is it just lets people know, hey, this channel has people who are actually taking the time out to click that like button. And whether I'm watching, stealth camping videos or sports videos or movie videos or Star Wars videos or whatever, I always try to hit that like button if it's a channel that I enjoy. So I ask the same out of all of you guys because it's free. Also, if you're new, hit the subscribe button. We'd love to get our subscriber count up. I know it's tough for this channel specifically in the off season, especially since I'm on like a 60 to 90 day probationary period from YouTube. They're kind of fucking with me. And we just got to get through that, and hopefully everything will work itself out naturally. But let me tell you what I was talking about when I said that we went from Justin Fields and Brandon all the way down to what we've seen over the past couple days. I was quite confused with the hire of not Tyler. I'll talk about Tyler Johnson, but Austin McNamara, the punter out of Arizona. Am I wrong in saying that we have a punter? And usually you don't carry 2-3 punters on a team. If a punter goes down, you just re-sign a punter. Like, that's kind of what you do. It's kind of like place kickers. Usually you're not carrying more than one on your active roster. And so what's going on with Morstead here? Because I'd like Morstead back. I'm sure a lot of Jets fans out there would like Morstead back. So that signing was a little bit weird for me. Another one was when we signed Tyler Johnson, the wide receiver, previously on the Bucs and the Rams. And I'm looking at it and I see people positive about this signing. And then I see a lot of people a little bit more down to reality. Because when I'm looking at this guy up, I'm seeing he has, so in 15 games last season, he was like a third, fourth, fifth wide receiver, and he had 26 receptions for 291 yards and 1 touchdown. Okay, so anyone who's even the slightly bit excited about this, let me ask you this. How excited are you about Alan Lazard coming back if he decides to stick around, if the Jets can't find a trade or whatever, the Jets don't release him? You're probably saying, fuck Alan Lazard. I don't want Alan Lazard on this team. But let me remind you that we just signed this guy at 291 yards in 15 games, 1 touchdown. Yet last season, Alan Lazard in 12 games had 530 yards and 6 touchdowns. Once again, I'm not sitting here. I had to be the guy to have Alan Lazard's back last year just because so many people were against him. And I kept saying over and over again, this guy's going to be a legit wide receiver 3. He's going to have over 500 yards. He's going to have over 5 touchdowns. And everyone, oh, fuck you, Mike. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, I was right. And he only played in 12 games. Imagine if he played the rest of the games. It would have been even more than that. Once again, I'm not saying I want Alan Lazard on this team, but you can't get excited about a guy like Tyler Johnson if you're not going to back Alan Lazard. Either way, we have a lot to do tonight. I'd love to get to some Midnight Mike Show trivia. I'd love to do Mike and Maddie's top 5 in the intermission report. I'd love to take your calls after the intermission report. Hopefully we can do all those things. But the main thing that we have tonight is we have a special guest, and that is Ian from Jets Central. And if you are a Jets fan and you're on YouTube and you're not aware of Ian and you're not aware of his channel, Jets Central, where the fuck have you been? Now, before we bring him in, let me bring in my co-host, my brother from another mother, my Beavis to my butthead, ladies and gentlemen. Maddie, how you doing tonight?
What is up? How is everybody?
I hope everybody's doing great. I hope you're doing great.
I'm all right. I got a sore throat, though. It's weird.
Oh, yeah?
I'm just getting at the end of my, like, a cold, so if I sound a little wonky, that's why. But no, otherwise, it's just another night. Friday night for me at work, going to work in about an hour and 15, and, same old.
Hey, it is what it is. Chris, one of our resident Bills fans, came in and he said, I was just talking to my cousin. I think we are making the trip again to MetLife again this year for the Bills versus the Jets. We did last season, week 6, and had a blast. I'd be interested to see what week in the schedule that's taking place, because there's a good chance it's going to be all Bills fans. So you might be in good company there, Chris.
Yes, indeedy. Hi, Lane. Hi, Val. Hi, Miguel.
Yeah, DB94, Miguel Padilla.
DB, what up?
You know what? Let me point this out before we get to everybody. I just want to show everybody this. I always tell people, if you just email me at midnightmikeshow@gmail.com, you yourself, I will send out some stickers for the show. Okay. We have the Midnight Mike Show. Now, these are still in plastic wrap, but you can put them on your water bottle. You can put them on your computer, anything like that. But there's the Midnight Mike Show sticker. And while supplies last, the original Midnight Mike Show logo sticker that is also holographic. There it is, folks. While supplies last, you'll also get that. And it's free. All you need to do is email me at midnightmikeshow@gmail.com. There it is at the bottom of your screen. And give me an address, your home, your P.O. box, your job, whatever. And I'll send it out to you. But the reason I brought that up so early, Maddie, I usually bring it up later in the show, is because I just want to show people what they can do with these amazing stickers. Let's look. Here we go. Look, there you go. Someone put it on their water bottle, like I suggested. And then if you turn that water bottle around, boom, there's the Midnight Mike Show original logo. And let's look at their computer. There it is. Who is this? Ladies and gentlemen, Miguel Padilla himself.
Miguel, wow.
And I want to thank him so much for sending in the pictures. And hey, if I sent you guys out stickers, and you can send me some, pictures of you putting it on your water bottles or your computers or your car, or whatever, I'll put it up on the show. So that's why I brought that up so early, Maddie.
Very cool. Boy, Miguel repping the show hard. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, you know what, Maddie? I told Ian, I said, hey, Ian, give us a call at 9:10. And I'll tell you, this man, I said it the last time he was on the show, just a professional. He's here. He's ready. Let's bring him in from Jets Central himself. Here he is. Ian, how you doing tonight?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Ian, good to see you, buddy. How you been?
Yeah, man, doing good. I'm totally pumped for the draft. I cannot wait for it.
Yeah, but I mean, what are you expecting? Are you expecting the trade down like a lot of people are talking about?
Honestly, man, like I would actually be really excited for a trade down. I think, whenever you're talking about like a first-year GM, a first-year head coach, if they have an opportunity to acquire more picks, especially in future years, to really like stockpile and, kind of build this like treasure chest of just really just draft assets, which is in turn young players. That's always a plus, especially in this draft where I feel like the Jets have a lot of different needs. It'd be one thing if like we were shooting for one or two players and it was unlikely that we were going to get them. And it's like, you know what, we're screwed. We're now we're forcing and maybe taking a player that we're not really into. But the Jets can go in a bunch of different ways. We can trade back and still get a huge position of need. I think, I don't know. I would be cool with the trade down. I just don't know how realistic it is unless maybe like Sanders falls and there's a team, that loves Sanders like at the bottom of the draft and they want to come up.
Well, are you like I am, where it's like with Shedeur Sanders, I want nothing to do with him as a Jets fan. I think he's going to bring a circus along with him, and we've already kind of dealt with that with Aaron Rodgers, and and the Jets are known to do that. The Jets are known to bring in people who are going to be a distraction, and I think Shedeur Sanders hits that perfectly, especially with his father and whatnot. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, personally, I really like Shedeur, but I do feel like quarterback is now probably off the team needs list with Justin Fields. If we didn't make a QB move, right? If we were still just looking at Tyrod, I would be more inclined to maybe take a Sanders or even a Cam Ward, right? But I think with where we're at right now, I just feel like the need isn't really there. At least at spot number 7, or even in round 2.
I remember correctly, didn't Dion actually come out and say that he wouldn't play for the Jets anyway?
I'm not sure. I
feel like I heard something about that.
Yeah,
but it was never. I never heard it. Like, I don't feel like I ever heard it directly from Dion's mouth. I heard it from like a beat reporter who said that Dion said. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't remember as much. I mean, again, and I live in Colorado, and I like Shedeur Sanders well enough, but I don't want him on the Jets. We and again, you're right. We don't need a quarterback right now, and I just feel like if we're going to draft another quarterback, which gosh, we've had such good luck doing that, I really want it to be somebody that's just a guaranteed almost home run.
Yeah, and like another thing too, it's like even though I personally like Sanders, if you take him this year, it kind of takes you out of the running next year, where there maybe would be some like more solid quarterback prospects or maybe safer bets.
100%.
Yeah, I feel like in this draft specifically, if you need, okay, so if you have a something you need it one, like you said, 1 or 2 guys, then you want to stay in that first part of the first round. But I feel like the best place to be in this draft, especially for teams like the New York Jets, is to be somewhere in the late first round to the beginning of the third round. Like, get a bunch of picks, that as many as you can get in that kind of frame of the draft. And that's why I'm looking more towards the trade back option for the Jets this year.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of like what all the, draft insiders and stuff are talking about, right? It's like bottom round 1 to the top to mid portion of round 3. It's like all those players are like graded the same. So like those teams picking in the bottom of round 2 are going to get like the draft isn't a perfect science, obviously, but just kind of the from the outside looking in, again, draft insiders and teams supposedly feel like those bottom round 2 guys are like the same quality of player that's going to be taken at like 26, 27, 28, like bottom round 1, which is really crazy, man, if you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, what I want to do, he showed up a little late, but I want to bring in my other co-host. He's waiting patiently. I appreciate that. So Murdog, hop on in here. How you doing, Murdog?
What's up, brother? Ian, how you doing, brother? Good to see you.
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Yeah, I filed a grievance when I found out that you were coming on, because I was brought on to be the eye candy of the show, and then he told me you were coming on, so I had to go to HR and file a complaint.
Murdog, every dynasty has to come to an end, buddy.
I mean, well, you got me, you got Maddie, but then you bring on an Abercrombie and Fitch model, and it really doesn't bode well for the rest of us, Mike. Thanks, dude.
Chill.
I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but he's my girlfriend's hall pass for Jets content.
Oh, okay. So, that's fair enough.
Cool.
Really quick, while I have you here, Ian, what I want to do is I actually did go back and watch back the 2 shows you were on last off season. And the one thing that I always ask people, I didn't ask you, and you're in Florida. I don't know if you've, moved from the Northeast or whatnot, but how did you originally become a Jets fan? I never got to ask you that.
Yeah, dude. So I grew up in South Florida, like heavy Dolphins territory, but really like, the people kind of in that section of Florida, like South Florida is really like college football, like Miami Hurricanes, Florida Gators, Florida State. Like it's huge. And even now, like UCF is really like really, really popular compared to like when I was younger. But anyway, when I was just growing up, it was like, so originally my parents are from Connecticut. And so
Okay.
my dad grew up a Jets fan. Reasoning behind that was his whole family was Patriots and Giants fans, and the Jets tickets were a lot cheaper. So him and his buddies would go for like, $7-8 to go to games. And like during that sack exchange era.
Yep.
And he said it was just a blast. And it was like a different kind of vibe compared to like Patriots and Giants games. And a lot more affordable. So him and all of his buddies would go. And it was just, he said it was like a younger kind of scene, a younger crowd. And it was just like a lot of fun. But then for me, I just kind of wanted to go against the grain. I never liked the Dolphins. Just something about them, like just like the team name, the colors.
The colors.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I can kind of respect them now, but just I remember growing up, like everyone, it just kind of felt like really cheesy to me. Like, I don't know, just the whole kind of maybe image of the Miami Dolphins at that point in time. I'm like, nah, I just don't want to go for like the hometown kind of team for me. So what better team than my dad's team, which is the Jets, who, in turn with the Dolphins, like biggest rival. So I'm like, I'm going to rock with the Jets.
Nice. And I always see you wearing a Tampa Bay Rays hat in your videos. Are you actually a Tampa Bay Rays fan?
Not really. I mean, those hats are kind of like a dime a dozen. You can pick them up for, a couple bucks over at Walmart. And no, so every time I'm wearing that, it's like I'm working outside or I'm, working on something. And people always comment like, like Yankees fans, like take off that Rays hat. I'm like, dude, it's not even that serious, man. I just, I'm just wearing it for, for whatever. But
no, because I was gonna ask you because there's all this stuff going on with the stadium and all that stuff, and I was just curious. Yeah. But I don't know, if you're not a Rays fan, you probably don't really care.
Yeah, no, well, I follow baseball and I'm like 15 minutes from the stadium over in St. Pete. Yeah. And so the hurricane came through and it pretty much just like ruined the top part of Tropicana. So they're gonna be playing their games this season where the Yankees play spring training, which is like literally right across the street from where the Bucks play. So I don't know. The whole vibe with the Rays over here is kind of weird. It's like it's split because you have the St. Pete fans, and then you have a lot of Tampa fans that don't like coming over to St. Pete to watch the Rays games. So I don't know. They put up this thing that they're like not moving forward with like a new stadium. It's been this like ongoing issue over here, but the Rays are, far and away the least popular team compared to the Lightning and the Bucks over here, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. And there's, and I mean, either way, Tampa Bay has so much to compete with. There's like, you got Jacksonville teams, you got Miami teams. There's just so many Florida teams out there. And then Florida has huge college teams. So, there are going to be teams that fall by the wayside. But let me ask you, a lot of stuff has been going on. Free agency. I just counted, I forget how many, 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's like almost like 10 guys that we've signed. And I'll be honest, especially we'll get to the last two, which are the ones that really I have a lot of question on. But with Justin Fields, let's start out. I got to start with that when it comes to free agency. What are your thoughts on Fields and like the potential positives that he could bring to the New York Jets so that we could get a little bit more excited about him as a fan base? And the worst part is I've been writing some of these questions down and I'm like, okay, I'll ask this. And then a video comes out where you're pretty much answering the questions that I had prepared. But let's start with that one.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I don't think anyone's calling Fields like a top 5, top 10 QB, obviously, but I do think he's somewhere in the middle of the pack. I think he can be like, he has the potential to be a franchise quarterback. And honestly, man, one thing I'll say about Fields, like and this is something we all know, he's like the most athletic quarterback that we've had in such a long time. Like if you're talking about like pure runner, extending plays, stuff like that, compared to Rodgers, compared to Zach, compared to Darnold, all these different guys that we've had in between. Like there's Geno, McCown, Petty, all these guys. No one compares to Fields in that regard, which is sweet. And then I've talked to a lot of Bears fans, a lot of Bears fans over the last really since we got him, just like, hey, what's your take? How'd you like him? And no one said he was like the perfect quarterback, the greatest quarterback ever. And a lot of them were happy with Caleb, but they all like, I was blown away with the amount of support that all the Bears fans had. They're like, dude, like, we're excited for him. We're going to be watching the Jets. We're pulling for him. And like, typically you don't hear that with the quote unquote bust quarterbacks that don't work out in the first round. You hear the fans say, get rid of this guy.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with him and stuff like that. Right. But with Fields, it's like, it really felt like a lot of players and a lot of fans just kind of gravitated towards him. And I mean, based off of how last season went, with just all the negativity, the headlines, the reports, this, that, Aaron Rodgers, whatever, it's going to be cool to have like someone come in, humble, keep his head down, a leader that players want to play with. I think that, and he's also young too, man, 25 years old. Like, I mean, I still feel like he hasn't reached his peak. So that's kind of what I'm excited about.
I mean, we've talked about it on this channel before, like over the past couple of weeks. And, I'm excited. When we talked about it before he got signed, we all said, we looked at the list of all the free agent quarterbacks, and he was the only one that all three of us were like, we would have no problem if we signed Justin Fields, because he's not only a great bridge, but there's really, I don't really see a lose here, because we're already in a technical kind of rebuild, although we're in a great position as a rebuilding team. Some teams, when they're rebuilding, they have a quarterback and maybe a receiver. The Jets have pieces all over the field. So having Justin Fields come in, even though we are kind of in a semi-rebuild, he's a guy that, if he doesn't play great, what? And did you hear? I don't know if you heard anything. What's the extra 10 million? Because right now it's like 30 million. You got the 10 million. Is that an incentive-based 10 million? Because if he stinks, then we end up getting him for 30 million, 15 a year, and we can get rid of him. But if he's good and he ends up playing like he did in his first 6 games with the Steelers, well, then we might have something. So I don't see necessarily a lose here.
Yeah, dude. 100%. I think you're spot on, because it's like, when you're talking about upside, bro, like all these quarterbacks that we're seeing nowadays, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, I mean, even Bryce Young to a certain degree, like towards the tail end of the season, like it looked like he started to kind of click a little bit more. But you're having like these young quarterbacks that are written off. And now, like with a little bit more seasoning, with some more experience, more practices under their belt, new situation, it's like they're flourishing. And it's like, why can't Fields be that guy?
Yeah.
I think if you look at the bulk of those quarterbacks on the market, Mariota, Wentz, take your pick on whoever, right? Maybe outside of Darnold, because I didn't think he was realistically going to consider the Jets as an option. But Fields, to me, it's like, yeah, we don't have a quarterback. Is Fields the best one on the market? I mean, he's right there with Sam Darnold, and he's still young enough to get better. So, like you said, dude, if he does play well and we have a franchise quarterback and we want to extend him, awesome. But if not, then okay, whatever. It's only the $30 million guaranteed, and the Jets can move on and figure it out in 2026, which could very well happen. But that's, in my opinion, definitely going to happen if we signed a Wentz, a Mariota, a Flacco, any one of these random, a Jacoby Brissett, any one of these random, backup quarterbacks. So
Yeah.
I think, like, if you're kind of maybe talking about it from like an odds perspective, out of all the quarterbacks that were available, Justin, like all the quarterbacks to roll the dice on, Justin Fields probably has the highest odds of panning out into getting better or becoming a franchise quarterback out of all of them. And again, just kind of leaving Darnold aside. And if you're a Jet fan, how can you really argue with that if we don't have a quarterback right now? It's like, hey, we're trying, we're seeing what's out there. We came away with the biggest fish, and it's only $30 million. It's not like it's 90, where if it doesn't work out, we're screwed,
Yeah, I completely agree on that. And the other thing with Justin Fields is he's coming in to a comfortable situation because of Garrett Wilson. And so that's another thing. And I actually haven't talked to my other guys about this, but I'll ask you first and then I'll ask them. So this question goes out to all of you. Now with Fields, Wilson, Rucker, and Josh Myers as a center, are the Jets going to benefit from this Ohio State kind of like past chemistry? And if the chemistry does really work, how does that affect Joe Tippmann? So what do you think, Ian?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I think there's definitely like a method to the madness with bringing Josh Myers in. Like I don't think that was just like a random occurrence. But like just looking at the contract, 1 year, 3.5, I don't think he's going to overtake Joe Tippmann. I think it's more so, hey, if Tippmann gets hurt, we have a go-to center that can plug and play. He started a bunch of games. He has experience with with our quarterback. And then Garrett, his track record speaks for itself. But then obviously, you have that connection with Fields. I'm excited because again, dude, like you said, Fields is stepping into a situation with 4 out of the 5 offensive linemen figured out, with a good left tackle who's young, a stable full of running backs, a wide receiver 1 in Garrett Wilson. And yeah, we have to figure out some other things, tight end and wide receiver depth. By the way, Lazard is still on the roster.
Yeah.
I'm curious to get, all your guys' takes on that. Like if that's
Ian, I started the show questioning why, like we went, and I've seen a lot of people more in a reality based where I am about this Tyler Johnson signing, wide receiver from the Rams and the Bucks, whatever. And I looked at his stats from last year, and in 15 games, he had 291 yards and 1 touchdown. And then there are some people who are like, oh, good signing. But here's the thing. Alan Lazard in 12 games had 530 yards and 6 touchdowns, yet all those people will go and shit all over Alan Lazard. And once again, I'm not sitting here being like, oh, we need Alan Lazard on this team. I'm not saying that. But we're bringing in guys who are lesser than what Alan Lazard produced. If we're bringing in wide receivers, I want guys who did better than our wide receiver 3. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's a good point. I think really where maybe people are kind of irritated is it's kind of like a part of the Rodgers type of clique.
Yeah.
And then also too, Lazard, I mean, that just the pay difference, like Lazard is, I think, 9 times more than Tyler Johnson as far as just overall pay. So it's kind of like, for that much money, I want maybe production that reflects that.
But but
you do make a good point.
No, but if Johnson can get as a wide receiver 3 on the New York Jets 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, which is what I predicted at the beginning of last season that Alan Lazard would end up with, I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with that. But he had 15 games and only produced 291 yards. So it's like, once again, I'm not going to judge someone until they play for the Jets and I see them play. As long as they're putting on a New York Jets helmet, I know Maddie and Murdoch will be with me. You're putting on a Jets helmet, we're going to be behind you. But real quick, Maddie, what do you think? Do you think this Ohio State thing is going to have any kind of help for the New York Jets?
No.
No.
I mean, it's a lovely thought, but the fact of the matter is all these guys are going to transition to the NFL, and you're in the NFL. You're not. I know people love to talk about colleges and stuff. These guys are all going to just they're getting paid. You know what I mean? Like, and once you're in the NFL from that, you might be like, oh yeah, we went to Ohio State. I don't see it factoring in. I don't see it hurting anything. It'd be great if it did, but I feel like it's just semantics.
And what do you think, Murdoch? You think it's going to have any effect?
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys in here know I dropped a video on this a couple days ago when they signed Myers. Look at the team in totality. We have no wide receivers outside of Garrett. Malachi Corley is still an unknown, although we all want him to get an opportunity. There's really nobody else. I like Tyler Johnson because of what he can do with the ball in his hands. He's got speed. He's shifty. Remember, you're talking about his production. He's coming from the Rams that had Nakua, Cooper Kupp, Higbee, and Kyron Williams ahead of him in the priority list of getting the football. So the opportunity might not have been there as much, but what I see of him, I like, especially like Ian said, at that low cost. We're shedding contracts. We're building for the future, trying to be competitive as best we can now, but have flexibility for the next couple of years when better free agents that fill better holes are available. Now, talking about what we're doing in free agency now, that Okorafor signing at right tackle, that's like, I hope nobody's excited about that. That dude got beat like a drum in week 1 with the Patriots, got beat like 5 plays in a row. They pulled him from the game in week 1 of the first quarter on one of the drives, and then he left the team. But you know what I mean? Like a temper tantrum, he just left. So you can't rely on that guy at right tackle. Morgan Moses is gone. We don't have a right tackle. Now go to the center spot. Joe Tippmann we all know that he had snapping issues in training camp and then spilled into the season lesser, but he did.
I think he did. He did. He
did. It was bad in
way more
camp.
in preseason and camp.
Bad in training camp, but it still spilled over a little bit. Josh Myers was his center for 3 years at Ohio State, so there's continuity there. You kick Joe Tippmann out to right guard. Remember, he's 6'6". That's a bad height for a center. You lose leverage. Usually centers are good at 6'2", 6'3". Once you get past 6'3", they can't get under the shoulder pads of defensive tackles. They lose leverage. They get beat. Joe Tippmann, 6'6", athletic, would be much better at guard, and we know AVT can play tackle. That's the only logical thing, to kick Tippmann out to right guard. And since we have no wide receivers, we don't even have a tight end on the roster other than Stone Smart and Ruckert, who's excited about that. So we're going to be a run-heavy RPO team, intermediate passing. We don't have weapons, so we're going to utilize our strengths. Justin Fields can use his legs and short passes to guys like Garrett, hopefully Corley, maybe a Ty Johnson, get the ball in his hands, take off. We're going to be a run-heavy team. The most athletic offensive line we can is going to benefit us. And kicking Tippmann out to right guard, ABT to right tackle will be the better one. So don't get this Okorafor guy. Don't get your hopes up that he's like the answer. He's not.
What are you thinking, Ian?
Yeah, no, I do. I think that's a really, really good point. But I will say, where do you think the Jets will go in the first round? Because they could theoretically go out and get a starting right tackle and then just have all these guys as depth pieces. Or do you want to maybe go out and get a Tyler Warren? You were talking about tight end or wide receiver to get on the outside. Were you kind of thinking with 7?
Me?
Yeah.
I think we need to trade down at least twice. Our biggest deficiency last year was run defense. And I always say, if you can't stop the run, you're not winning a football game in the NFL. It's one in the trenches, and we got ran through by backup running backs on the regular. I remember Joe Mixon had like 99 yards in the first half. We only won that game because they stopped giving him the ball against the Texans. And I was like, this guy's almost got 100 at the halftime. Quinnen is getting it's a disservice to Quinnen because you're going to double team him if he doesn't have somebody helping him. You need a guy at the defensive tackle spot. Luckily for us in this draft, that's like 6 or 7 good defensive tackles. We don't have to take one at 7. We can get one like a Derek Harmon in the mid-20s, pick up second, third round picks, stuff for next year. I want Harold Fannin in the second or third round at the tight end spot. Tyler Warren's great. He's going to be a great player, but he's not going to do anything for us. He's not going to win us an extra 4 games. We need to shore up that defensive tackle spot first and foremost.
Real quick, I want to go through this. I talked about this at the start in the quick monologue I had. The signing of Austin McNamara from the Arizona, the punter. What are we thinking? Because I'm happy with Morstead. I understand he's older, but we still have him, and he's a great punter. And I'm not seeing the reason for this signing, and I'd love to go around and hear that, Ian. Your thoughts?
You know, on it to me, it kind of feels just like Darren Muji is just walking in and saying, hey, this is a 5-win football team. There was a lot of money spent on this team. There was a lot of picks traded away on this football team with a lot of stars, but yet it all equated to 5 wins. No one's job is guaranteed. We're going to bring in someone that we like, you know, for, I would say, like a really reasonable price. You know, and granted, punters don't get paid all that much, but again, I just feel like it's Muji kind of stepping in, just saying, hey, we're going to see what we have. You know, 5-win team. It would be different if we had 9 wins or 10 wins or made the playoffs and got bounced. We would feel better about specific positions, but because last season was so bad, we're just going to bring in guys that we like. And if they happen to beat out the guys that are currently here, so be it. But if not, then, you know, kind of the best man wins type of approach. A lot of competition is kind of what I'm expecting, but I don't know. That's just my guess.
Murdoch, what are you thinking? Would you rather just keep Morstead, or you want to give this guy a shot?
No, Morstead's good. I don't know if it's a money thing or they're just looking to see what he has or practice squad. We're not going to carry 2 punters. So, I mean, maybe it's just to bring him in and see what he has. I mean, it's a low-level transaction. So, was Morstead that bad last year that I would have kept Morstead? I wouldn't even address that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. No, yeah, exactly. The thing is bringing in a punter when we have a good punter even if he had a little less, his year wasn't as good as it was in, like, let's say 2024, or okay, that was 2024, 2023. We need to address so many other things. And I understand that we're not throwing millions upon millions of dollars at McNamara, but it's like, let's use some of this money on the positions that we actually need, as opposed to bringing in someone to challenge Morstead. That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, no, I mean, one thing I will say though is, like, man, this free agent class is not all that strong, and I'm pumped about the Field signing. I really like Cisco, just shoring up that rangy free safety position. I'm interested in the Stevens signing from Baltimore, because I've seen like a lot of pushback on it, and rightfully so when you take a look at the numbers and everything. But to me, it's like, hey, if the Jets want to go out there and make a move like that on day one, handing out a multi-year deal, 10+ mil on average per season, I want to just opt to Aaron Glenn and Steve Wilkes and just say, hey, you guys know more than me. There's obviously something in this guy that you guys really like. So, I'm cautiously optimistic with it. But I mean, from top to bottom, it's not like we had 120 mil like New England and they're just dropping cash on Milton Williams, all these different guys. And it does kind of feel like Muji's kind of in a position where he's looking at the roster saying, we're going to go out and target the guys we like. We're going to go get Glenn, the guys that he wants to work with moving forward, but we're not going to break the bank. We're not going to mortgage the future on maybe like B tier, C tier free agents.
Okay, so I have one of the things I pride myself on this show is that we have a lot of fans of other teams, because we're one of the shows that don't kick people out. People can come in from other teams and talk as much shit as they want about the Jets, about Murdoch, about Maddie, about myself. And so we actually have in the chat a bunch of Dolphins fans, a bunch of Bills fans, Broncos fans, you name it. So in honor of Scott Black's return, who's a big Dolphins fan, we need to talk about this. And I've talked about it a little bit with Maddie and Murdoch, but Ian, your thoughts on Zach Wilson becoming the backup for the Miami Dolphins? So, and do you see what I see in Tua going down and then Zach having an outstanding year in Miami?
I don't want to say outstanding year in Miami, but I will say, like, you listen to how the Broncos coaches talked about Zach, they all loved him. And supposedly, like, everyone from that Kyle Shanahan tree, Mike McDaniel included, they really like Zach's skill set. And he was not, some cheap, like, throwaway contract. Like, I think he got like 9 or 10 mil or something. 6 mil? Okay. Yeah. So, this is someone who, like, your mind kind of just jumps immediately to Tua. He's probably going to miss some time, whatever injury you always kind of feel like he does. So Zach is being signed to go with the back, be that go-to backup. And typically you kind of feel like Miami has always gone with like the boring, steady game manager, like Tyler Huntley, Teddy Bridgewater, Skylar Thompson. But with Zach, like, it's not the game. Like, you're kind of betting on the upside with Zach. So yeah, I'm interested to see how it plays out.
Well, the thing with Zach is like, who's the Broncos backup right now?
It's
Stidham?
Yes.
Yeah, it might be Stidham,
so
yeah.
if the Broncos thought so highly of Zach Wilson, why wouldn't they keep Zach Wilson over Stidham? I mean, it's not like Stidham lights it up all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, were they talking him up to? I don't know. I'm not understanding why you get rid of a guy who you love so much.
Well, I mean, money plays a fact into it, and maybe timelines play. Like, if you're Zach, are you thinking you're going to play more in Miami or in Denver? I would probably say Miami's is the likely choice. And who knows? Maybe Denver offered him a deal, 1 year, $5 million. Miami offered him that extra $1 million. I don't know. And also too, I don't know what Stidham got with his contract. Did he get brought back for like a vet minimum or like a 1 year, $2 million? And Denver's just trying to save money because, like, now they're a playoff team. Like, you don't want to invest that much into a depth player. I don't know.
Let's kick that to DB94 in the comments. He's one of our boys. He helps out so much with my show, with Murdoch's show, but he's a big Broncos fan. So DB, if you know anything about this Stidham trade, please let me know. or this. I'm sorry, this Stidham's contract or his signing in Denver. I'd be very interested. But Ian, I told you I'd keep you a half hour. We've about gotten to that point. But what I want to do before I let you go is what we started to do in this off season is every Tuesday night we started drafting, basically taking a position of the New York Jets, and then me, Maddie, and Murdog would draft all-time Jets. So this past Tuesday night we did the New York Jets quarterbacks. Okay, and each of it was 4 rounds. And we went around, and I want you to tell us who you thought won the draft. Okay, so here's what we got. I'll put it up on the screen. I chose Testaverde, Sanchez, Esiason, and Rodgers. Maddie took Ken O'Brien, Chad Pennington, Brett Favre, and Geno Smith. And Murdog, by the way, had the 3rd pick in all the rounds. So he did pretty well getting Joe Namath, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Richard Todd, and Pat Ryan. What are your thoughts of these quarterback rooms?
I'm going to say Murdog won it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Namath, Fitz. I mean, say what you want about Fitz, first of all, but he still holds the record. I'm surprised you went with Rodgers. Rodgers made the list.
Well, that's because, look, I'm looking at it like this. Keep in mind, that was my 4th round pick. Okay,
fair
so
enough.
Once you get past the first like two rounds of New York Jets quarterback,
then it just becomes I drafted this guy because I thought it was cool. He ate a hot dog on the sideline and got caught peeing in a cup.
Yeah, it gets real dicey. And that's true with a lot of positions for the New York Jets, unfortunately. But the reason I took Rodgers is because, and you just said it yourself, Ian. When you said Fitzpatrick, you said he still holds the record. He still holds the record for most touchdowns in a single season by the New York Jets. But when you bring up that stat, look who's number 3, Aaron Rodgers. And then you could even go to yards. Number 3, Aaron Rodgers. So when it came down to it, and I had those people left to go, it was like, well, who had the best stats in a single season? Because we were doing the Jets' overall, career as a Jet. But also the reason I chose Vinny number 1 is because I grew up through the 80s and I love Ken O'Brien, and he would have been my number 2 pick. But I wasn't old enough for that 1981, AFC playoff run. So the first time I ever really had hope in an AFC championship game or anything like that was in 1998 with Vinny Testaverde. So he became like this god to me. But that one single season that he played, he went like 12-2 because Glenn Foley started the first 2 games. Then he went 1-1 in the playoffs, and he threw like 20 something or 28, 29 touchdowns. This is off the top of my head, to like 6 or 7 interceptions. So that's why I picked Vinny, and that's why I ended up with Rodgers in pick 4.
Yeah, no, Vinny's one of my dad's all-time favorites. One thing that I'm always impressed with the older quarterbacks, is like you're looking at the game today, and just so much is tailored around quarterbacks and points and first downs, whether it's like the rules, players play that extra game, in this day and age, right? 17 games. By the way, you had those Rodgers stats pulled up quick.
I had those from the I had those on my thing ready for when the season ended, and I was in I was kind of in the thing like, I'm okay if we're without Rodgers. If they want to get rid of Rodgers and Devontae, I'm okay with it. But here's why I'm okay if they keep Rodgers and Devontae, and it was because of those stats.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But yeah, like I was saying, like it's to me at least, it's always impressive, like going back and looking at like some of the all-time greats and just like looking at the numbers that they were able to produce in more so like the running offenses with the rules that aren't really tailored towards, keeping the offenses on the field and whatnot. And also too, quarterbacks back in the day just got lit up. Like they weren't like the rules that, are focused around like QB safety and everything. Like that stuff was just not there back in the day. So I have the all-time respect for all those like old school great quarterbacks.
Well, Ian, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really do appreciate it. I hope you don't become a stranger. If we can get you on once or twice every off season, that would be awesome. Yeah, that would be great. And once again, I doubt anyone watching my little channel doesn't know who you are, but please give any plug you want to give.
No, I just want to say thanks so much. I appreciate you guys having me on. It's a lot of fun, right? It's it's cool kind of getting these like out of the box questions, and it's cool to kind of dive into specific topics and everything like that. And yeah, Murdoch, it was nice meeting you, man.
You too, brother.
Hopefully, yeah, let's do this again. Hopefully this won't be the last time.
Do you do mocks? I mean, I even have a smaller channel. It's so tiny.
I have
But
no
I do
channel.
mocks. What's that, Matty?
I said I have no channel. So we're like the small, medium, and large.
I do mocks a lot. I like to have fun with that. If you're interested, I'd love to have you on to do a mock. You know,
Yeah,
you
let's
control
do
it. You're in charge of it. I like to bring people on to do that, see where everyone's head's at, and how it could possibly look. Like my strategy might be completely different than yours. That's fine. It's just it's a lot to play around with. How could I get a hold of you? Discord or Twitter?
So honestly, dude, I don't really check social media all that much, but here, what's your Twitter? I'll follow you real quick and DM
My phone number is no. What is it? It's the Jets. Well, I have two. The Jetstream. Was it at Jetstream 24?
Jetstream 24.
I believe so.
Let me try this.
While they're doing this, guys, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that stuff. It very much helps out the channel. And I look forward to having Ian on again and other Jets content creators in the off season. So please subscribe if you're new. Did you figure it out, Murdoch? You need to know these things, Murdoch. You need to know all your social media.
I know. I'm already following Ian on Twitter.
Oh, here. DM me then. DM me.
Yeah,
I have it pulled up right here.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm already following you. So,
all right, sweet.
It was really my girlfriend. She was just like, "Can you follow him?" So,
oh my god, this is so weird.
Oh, real quick, when you brought up Brandon Stevens, I think what they liked, a lot of dudes like from Baltimore fan base were telling Jet fans that too many penalties. He's constantly getting penalized. But it's talking from a physical standpoint, he's 6'1", 215 with 4.4 speed. So I think the Jets, with the lack of any real cornerbacks to go next to Sauce, he's a big body kid who could run. So if they, with Aaron Glenn being a cornerback, if they can rein him in and get rid of the penalties, I think they might feel that they have a real steal here. If he can get rid of the penalties. And he had 10 pass breakups last year. That's pretty good.
Wait, you know what? Real quick, I just noticed that we had super chats coming in, and I'm going to go through them real quick because some of them, like this one, let's bring this up. Miguel Padilla comes in, gets the Jets chant. Jets, Jets, Jets. And he says Jets Central was the first Jets YouTuber I followed starting back in 2018. I was in Seattle watching the draft and had Ian's channel on reacting to that draft. Was that the one with Darnold?
That was Darnold. Yeah.
That's the first one I watched of Ian too. I talked about that the last time he was on. I couldn't believe it. I originally I thought it was the Zach one, and then I realized that no, it was the Darnold one, and you were you were broadcasting with a Jaguars fan, right?
Yeah, so it was a couple of my buddies, but we were also so we were streaming with my buddy UCF Jaguar. His name's Dalton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, that looking back, man, that whole class was just very, very strange. I felt like it just did not pan out to how a lot of people kind of expected. I honestly was not the biggest Darnold guy coming out of USC. I wasn't like super hyped up.
Well, no, you know what? Nobody out of USC at this point will ever excite me again because we dealt with Darnold and Sanchez, and it's just like, F it. Like, like at this point, but like John Radcliffe, our local pessimist here, he's always down on the Jets, but he's a true Jets fan with $2. Says O-line sucks. At least Fields and Taylor can move. That's true. And he also says we don't have two G's either. We don't. I guess two guards. Simpson and AVT are bad.
That's not true.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, Simpson is whatever. I don't think AVT is bad. He just needs to stay healthy. That's
like if you're a top 5 guard, you're a top 5 guard. But if you're not like top 5, top 10, it doesn't mean like you're straight garbage.
Yeah, absolutely. But Ian, I don't want to hold you. I really do appreciate it. Everybody go over to Jets Central. If Jets news happens, believe me, he's the first one with anything out almost every time. It's shocking. And I've said that before, but thank you, Ian. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Let's definitely do this again. And Murdoch, shoot me a DM. I'm definitely down to hop on a mock.
Oh, awesome, brother. I'd love to have you.
Cool. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out,
Have a
man.
good one. Have a good one. All right, that was awesome, folks. Please hit the like button. I would really appreciate that if you enjoyed what you just saw. This of course, this video will be out. It's free to the masses, and you'll be able to rewatch it and all of that stuff. But for those of you who are new, I want you to stick around because we're about to show you what the Midnight Mike Show is about, because it's not just the Jets, but it's also a crazy variety show that goes in all different directions. And it's about, we're going to do it anyway. I don't care because we have Maddie here for a little while longer. How much longer do we got you, Maddie?
Give me for about another half hour or so.
Half hour. That's perfect, because that means it's going to be time for Midnight Mike Show trivia here on the Midnight Mike Show, where I go with Murdoch and Maddie as my contestants, and I ask them questions from 3 categories that are chosen at random during the week. And Murdoch usually doesn't like them. Usually he says this game is rigged, but he's the current champion. So how can he sit and complain? We'll see. But like I said, Midnight Mike Show trivia here on the Midnight Mike Show. Let's get this started, guys. Now, Maddie is our challenger this week, and he's not, he was champion last week. We've been going back and forth. So we're going to see if that continues here on the Midnight Mike Show. And we have 3 categories tonight, as usual. So are you guys ready for the categories?
Let's do it.
We have 90s cinema. That is going to, of course, entail questions about 1990s films and movies. Then we have the category Not the Jets, meaning this is a football category, but the questions are not involving the New York Jets. Okay? And then the final category is called God Bless America. And this is a category where it's all a bunch of movies, but every movie will have the word America in the title of the film. Maddie is our challenger. So Maddie gets to pick his category first. Maddie, what do you want?
Let's go with 90s cinema.
90s cinema. Here we go. All right. First question tonight on Midnight Mike Show trivia. And guys, in the comments, these guys, when they're ready, when they're locked in, they hold up. They hold up. Okay. So as soon as you see Murdoch and Maddie hold up, we're locked in. You can put in your answers, but let's not let them get to these questions. See the answers in the chat. Okay. Let's play this game fair. Here we go. First question in 90s cinema. Joe Pesci saves the Karate Kid from a murder charge in this 1992 film. Oh, not that one. Sorry. I hit the wrong button because I'm amateur hour.
I'm ready.
Maddie's locked in. Once again, folks, the question is Joe Pesci saves the Karate Kid from a murder charge in this 1992 film. Murdoch is locked in. Maddie is locked in. So let's go to Murdoch. Murdoch, what is your answer?
Well, I figured because of Testaverde, but my cousin Vinny.
Maddie.
Same.
All right. I like games where we start off just everyone on the board right away. Maddie still controls the board, folks.
Let's keep going 90s.
Okay, still going in with the 90s trivia. I'm sorry, 90s cinema category. Name 3 Pauly Shore movies from the 1990s. Once again, folks, playing at home, name 3 Pauly Shore movies from the 1990s. And this one is kind of, we follow each other. We follow each other on X. So I'm a big Pauly Shore fan. So let's have fun with this one. Maddie and Murdoch are writing down some answers.
Good.
Oh, Maddie's got his answers. Murdoch
was harder than I thought it would be.
I got one.
Well, that's not going to help.
Yeah, I got one.
Murdoch, you have 5 more seconds.
I have some in my head, but I only have one written down.
Sorry. Maddie, what do you got?
I got Biodome, Encino Man, and Son-in-Law.
There you go. Maddie takes the lead. I would have accepted Encino Man, Class Act, Son-in-Law, In the Army Now, Goofy Movie, Jury Duty, Biodome, Casper, A Spirited Beginning, or Casper Meets Wendy. I would have accepted
Casper.
I didn't know.
No, not the original Casper.
I had Encino, man, but Biodome and Son-in-Law were on my brain. I couldn't.
It took me forever to come up with Son-in-Law. I was like, what's that fucking
Son-in-Law
movie
is
where he's got a
literally not
pitchfork?
only my favorite Pauly Shore movie, but Carla Gugino. I mean, let's be honest
Yeah.
here.
I
I could see the movie poster,
Smith,
and it took me forever to get it.
but it's also a Thanksgiving tradition in my house to watch Son-in-Law. All right, Maddie, we still going 90s cinema?
Yeah, let's close it out if we can.
All right, here we go. Kyle MacLachlan, best known for his damn fine cups of coffee in Twin Peaks, starred in this 1995 NC-17 bomb. Kyle MacLachlan, best known for his damn fine cups of coffee in Twin Peaks, starred in this 1995 NC-17 bomb.
I think I got it, but I don't know.
Maddie is locked in. Murdoch looking for some help from the chat. I see those eyes.
Yeah, fuck it. It's not 1995. I have one, but I don't think it's 1995.
Guys, really, thumbs up if you're in here. Let people know that we are live. Thumbs up are free, and it really does help the algorithms, especially since I am in a little bit of a probationary period here on YouTube. And super chats and gifted channel memberships, guys. Let's try to rock it tonight. I provided you guys with a bunch of entertainment. I brought in Ian from Jet Central. Let's help out Midnite Mike. All right, Murdog. What do you got?
Starship Troopers.
Maddie?
Showgirls?
Showgirls with Elizabeth.
Yeah, it bombed in the theater.
No,
we all rented it. But
exactly. In the theater, huge bomb. But it became like one of those movies that was like a cult classic and ended up being like a beloved movie like 20 years later. And anyone who hasn't seen Showgirls, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Do you know I got the Showgirls box set. I got it at FYE, like used. You know, remember I had FYEs and stuff used to, yeah. And it still had all the stuff in it. And one of the things was a nudie picture of a poster of Elizabeth Berkley kind of doing this deal. And, you know, boobs out. And then it came with tassels and a blindfold, and it was a pin the tail on the donkey game. And you had to get the little suction cup tassels onto her breasts.
Oh my!
It was really nice. It was a really I played it with the kids a few times.
Just the birthday mainstay at the Midnight Mike house, I'm sure.
Yeah, I bring it out for all the kids' parties.
I was confusing it with Coyote Ugly. That's why I was like, there's a bomb. I was confusing the two movies. I didn't know. I didn't know it anyway, but
we still have God Bless America, not the Jets, and two more in 90s cinema, man. 90s cinema. Here we go. Name the only in canon Karate Kid film not to star Ralph Macchio. Name the only in canon Karate Kid film not to star Ralph Macchio. Those of you playing at home, let me see if any of you guys got some of these other ones. Maddie's locked in. Let me see if some of you guys got some of these. Oh, yeah, Lane gets a point for Showgirls. John Radcliffe gets it's not a horrible movie, you ass clown. It's a great movie. Great movie. And Miguel says, In the Army Now is most accurate military movie ever. But he did. He got the point here. In the Army Now and Encino Man Biodome. All right, Murdoch, what do you got?
I don't got it.
I don't know if this is right. I think it was called The New Karate Kid. Or The Next Karate Kid. One of the two.
Unfortunately, I can't give you the point, but it was The Next Karate Kid starring Pat
Morita was in it. And
Pat Morita and Hilary Swank.
That's right.
That's what I was thinking. I was going to say $1 Million Baby Girl.
Yep. The reason I put in canon because there was also that ridiculous Karate Kid movie with Jackie Chan and Will Smith's
yeah, that doesn't count.
Ambiguous son.
Rush Hour.
No,
Rush Hour.
No, it was called The Karate Kid.
Jackie Chan was in that with
Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan played the Mr. Miyagi role, and then Will Smith's ambiguous son played the Karate Kid. So no, it wasn't Karate Kid 3. John Radcliffe, Ralph Macchio was sure in that one. You want to finish this category out, Maddie?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is the fifth and final question in 90s cinema. So let's do this. Most remember Sinbad as a star of the genie movie Kazam, when in actuality the star was this man. This is one of those butterfly effect. I think that's what it's called. But most remember Sinbad as a star of a genie movie Kazam, when in reality it was actually this man who starred it. Murdog writing. Maddie, are you locked in?
Yeah, I'm good.
Maddie's locked in. I appreciate that, DB. He says, Mike just wrapped up a feature with Ian from Jet Central. Great discussion. I recommend watching it later. Absolutely. Murdog, what's your answer?
I put Will Smith.
Maddie?
Shaq, baby. It was Shaq.
That's right.
They even make fun of it in Scary Movie.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I completely forgot. Was that Scary Movie or Scary Movie 2?
First one.
Okay. Yeah, no, there is that weird thing, like the Berenstein Bears kind of thing. People remember it differently. For some reason, there's this weird thing where people think that Sinbad starred in a genie movie.
I've never heard that before.
Oh, look it up. It's like a huge thing, but he never starred in any genie movie, and most people don't realize they're probably thinking of Kazam with Shaq.
Yeah.
And I actually saw that in a drive-in movie theater in Illinois.
Nice.
my parents were like, let's go to a drive-in movie, and I'm like, okay. And then we went, and the only like G-rated movie that like my little sister could go see was Kazam. So I sat through that, folks. I watched that. That is a movie that I watched. Maddie, you still have control of the board, not the Jets. Okay. This category, folks, is God Bless America. And in this category, the answer to every movie will have America in the title. This should be a little bit easier.
I don't know. I'm nervous about this one.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's go with the first one. Yeah, go ahead.
Is it just America, or it could be like American? Is it?
It could have American.
Okay,
but
so variations of the word America.
Yeah, America.
All right, good question, Nerdog.
That was good. Good. I like that. People are already guys, you can't guess when I haven't said it, and you're supposed to wait till the guys lock in. Can you help us out here? All right. This movie follows the Mouskowitz family's immigration to America. This movie follows the Mouskowitz's family immigration to America. Maddie's locked in. Remember, folks, don't write anything in the comments yet. Once we see Murdog hold up his board, then you can guess.
I don't know if I got this right either.
Uh-huh.
All right, Murdog, the time's up. When it goes dum, the time is up.
Mouskowitz. I'm blanking. I don't got it.
All right, Murdog, I'm sorry, buddy. Maddie?
An American Tale?
There you go. There you go. If you were an 80s kid, you had to go see An American Tale.
I was forced to go see An American Tale.
It's a pretty good movie, to be honest. The
I haven't seen it since I was a kid. So.
The sequel's not so much. And no, the answer is not Chevy Chase. It's so random.
I knew it was animated, but I couldn't think of it at all.
Guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. I really do appreciate it. We got an intermission report coming up and all that stuff. But Midnight Mike Show Trivia has people seem to like it. So It's an off-season thing. Obviously, during the season, we can't do as many fun things like this. But let's have fun while we're at it. Maddie, we sticking to God Bless America?
Let's keep it.
All right, here we go. This serial killer doubles as a New York City investment banker in this 2000 film. Once again, for everybody at home, don't write it in the comments section. This serial killer doubles as a New York City investment banker in this 2000 film. Maddie looks like he's locked in. And Murdog seems to be locked in. Wow. Okay, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Murdog, what do you got?
Christian Bale's American Psycho.
There we go, Murdog. I like that. Maddie?
Bret Easton Ellis's American Psycho, his third novel, my third favorite writer. Mr. Bateman also shows up in the follow-up novel Glamorama for just a split second, and in Lunar Park, many American Psycho characters are referenced.
I think that deserves an extra 2 points.
No, it does not. But
Michael Landau.
oddly specific shit make me look smart. That's all it is.
Michael Landau says, I love trivia night. And then Miguel gets a point, and John Radcliffe gets a point, and Lane Kerner gets a point. Good job, guys.
We should do a trivia night, like an off night one, where we let people can call in.
I have said it before, Maddie. If anyone wants to come on and challenge you to, just DM me or get in touch with me, and I'll
like
get
a
to
Sunday night gig. That'd be kind of cool if we just like a live stream and just be like, all right, if you come in and take the board, you run it till you get kicked off. No points, just who holds the crown.
Oh,
trivia,
that's interesting.
Trivia smear the queer.
And if you lose the point, you take a shot or chug a beer.
Oh, and then you're kicked off.
You can't do that?
No.
Right now, I don't want to push it with where the show stands.
Because we got shit faced on New Year's Eve.
I know that, but see, there's a difference between doing that and being like part of the rules are drink. You know what I mean? It's what we're doing is not really a big deal, but if it's the rule is now, if you come on, you have to. It's dicey.
Miguel says, I love American Psycho. It is so quotable.
It is a quotable film.
Valerie comes in and says, I could do 70s trivia. There might be that category eventually. I'm not gonna
like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna discount that. Another thing is that I will be watching back to this show because obviously when Ian was on, I wanted to, we all wanted to shoot the shit with Ian and talk to him, but I want to go back and check out what people were saying in the comments. I'm trying to make it up to all of you now, so that I can get in here. But you guys are doing great. You guys are doing great in the comments with this. All right, we sticking to God Bless America?
Yep.
For those of you just joining us, every answer in this is a movie category. Every answer will have America in the title or American or whatever in the title of the film. All right, here we go. In 1999, Kevin Spacey's character in this film was infatuated with his daughter's best friend. Once again, for those of you at home, don't write it in the comments yet. In 1999, Kevin Spacey's character in this film was infatuated with his daughter's best friend. Maddie's locked in.
My wife hates this movie, and we fight about it.
I don't want to say anything yet.
Oh. It's got that girl in it with the flowers, and she's like,
"Yeah, you got it. You know it. Come on, man, you get it."
Oh,
but I do need an answer there, Murdoch.
I'm blanking. I'm blanking. Oh, I got it.
All right, I'll give it to you.
American Beauty.
Yeah,
American Beauty.
There you go. Murdoch gets his 3rd point. Maddie nails his 7th point. All right. There's still some time, Murdoch. There is still some time. Here we go. Are we sticking in this category, Maddie?
Yeah, we got 1 or 2 left.
2 left in this category.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Before Star Wars, George Lucas gave us this 1973 film. George Lucas, famous for Star Wars. Before Star Wars, he gave us this 1973 film. That's the question there, folks. Maddie's locked in. And on the last one, I just want to point out, Miguel gets the point. John gets the point. Lane gets the point.
Complete guess.
All right. Well, what do you got there, Murdoch?
American Hustle.
American Graffiti.
There you go. A good old like 50s, 60s, a hot rod driving around the streets, good old teen film. That was actually, I think, Harrison Ford's first movie. I'm almost positive.
I think it might have been.
He wasn't a main
Apocalypse
character.
Now, but he wasn't it wasn't a real starring role. Anyways.
Wow, you guys in the comments. Wow. Michael gets a point. Valerie gets a point. New York Jets superfan gets a point. Lane gets a point. John Radcliffe gets a point. Hell yeah. Greg gets a point. And yes, I have a little bit of a trouble with this movie too, because it is a little creepy. It is a little creepy.
I heard of it.
Best Kevin Spacey movie ever though? K-Pax.
K-Pax.
Fucking great movie.
Never saw
He was
it.
great in 7.
Usual Suspects is my go-to.
That's probably my.
I mean, I like all those movies. I just have this weird love for K-Pax. It has this weird, like, calming, like you just feel calm the whole movie. Like it's just so, I can't explain it. If you've seen it, you know. But here we go. Are we ending out this category, Maddie?
Yep. Bring it to
All right.
close.
Here we go. This 1988 comedy, directed by John Landis, featured the main character, Akeem Jaffer. And there we go. This 1998 comedy, directed by John Landis, who also directed American Werewolf in London and Michael Jackson's Thriller, Kentucky Fried Movie, featured the main character, Akeem Jaffer.
We're both ready.
Ah, very nice. All right, let's start with the person who does not have control of the board. That is Murdog. What do you got?
Isn't it Prince Akeem coming to America?
That's right.
There you go. And Maddie?
Of course, Coming to America.
All right. We only have one category left, folks. And since this is a Jet show, you guys should have fun with this one because it's a football category and we're left with the football category. And it's called Not the Jets because none of these questions have anything to do with the New York Jets. It's about just random football knowledge. So let's have fun with this one. 5 more questions to end out this game. Number 1, here we go. How many teams played in the NFL's inaugural 1922 season? How many teams played in the NFL's inaugural 1922 season? Thanks, Teflon Don. We'll admit that on this show. We have no problem with that. It's like Miguel already came in. Yes, we are. Well, we'll find out. You know what
I
we're
don't know
going
if
to do?
this is right at all.
You know what we're going to do for this category? Closest to without going over.
Murdoch looks like he knows the exact answer.
Without going over.
No, I don't. I
If
have
you
the
have the right
theory.
answer, you're going to get a point. Murdoch, what do you got?
Well, I'm thinking maybe they borrowed it from hockey's original 6.
Maddie?
I said 5.
Murdoch was closer because it was actually 18.
Oh, my second guess was going to be 8. So,
Well, there you go. There you go. I'll give you the point, Murdoch. You were closer.
Yay.
We're at 9-5. 9-5. We're working 9 to 5. Love Dolly. Love Dolly. Here we go. Next question. Here we go. Which quarterback holds the record for most career rushing yards? What quarterback holds the record for most career rushing yards? Remember, folks, wait till the guys lock in before you start throwing anything in the comments.
got it. I got like 3 people.
Well, 3 people ain't going to work there, Murdoch. We're about to end out. Dent, 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 bum, bum. All right. I just realized I had a whole nother board on my thing, on my Roadcaster, and I have no idea what those sounds are because I haven't labeled them. So they just say sound 1, sound 2. I have no idea what they are. But here we go. Murdoch, what do you got?
I had Fran Tarkenton, but I put Lamar Jackson because didn't he break the record this year?
Uh-oh. If he broke the record this year, I might be wrong. Hold on. Hold on, folks.
Or maybe he was.
Well, I know everybody. I know it sure got fired up in the comments.
I took Fran Tarkenton. He was a scrambling quarterback.
Well, I'll tell you right now, it's not Fran Tarkenton.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So you put? I'm gonna be on. Did you? What do you have written there?
I had Fran Tarkenton, crossed it out, and wrote Lamar.
Okay, Lamar Jackson. Can you name number 2, Murdoch, for an extra point?
Well, if it's not Fran Tarkenton, and say Randall Cunningham.
No, but you'll get the point, Maddie. Who do you got?
I said Unitas.
That is wrong. Do you know? I'll give you one more guess for an extra point. But you can't do Lamar Jackson.
Cam Newton.
Vic.
No, I'm sorry. There you go. Michael Vick. Lamar Jackson this season beat Michael Vick. So there you go.
So close putting whatever.
I had Vic in my mind, and then I was like, yeah, but he got suspended and went to jail. So that's what let me on Fran Tarkenton.
All I know is you were still writing while he was rambling about his soundboard, and DB put the right answer in the chat.
He didn't, because he said Cam Newton.
Yes, he fucking did.
Cam Newton has 5,631 yards. Michael Vick has 6,000.
13. It's in the chat.
I didn't cheat if that's what you're saying.
I'm not saying you did.
Okay, no, he's right. So
your
DB said
diatribe gives everybody extra time.
Okay, I won't do that. I won't do that. Fair enough. I won't do that. All right, well, let's go to another quarterback category. How about that? All right. Here we go. Question number 3. Only 3 questions left, folks. Maddie leads 9-6. Who was the first NFL quarterback to complete 3,000 passes? Once again, for all of you at home, who was the first NFL quarterback to complete 3,000 passes? And yes, Lane, we can do it. We've done 80s movies before, and we'll do them again. Don't you worry. Boom, 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 boom. Murdog.
You ready?
Yep.
Drew Brees.
Maddie.
Brett Favre.
You had him earlier, Murdog. It was Fran Tarkenton.
I feel like he changed that question just to fuck with you.
There's the questions.
I'm just messing with you.
I wrote these yesterday.
Just thinking pass happy offenses.
All right, here we go. I didn't realize how many quarterback questions I put in this, because here's another one for y'all.
Okay.
Crap.
Who was the first quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards in a season? Who was the first NFL quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards in a season? Maddie is locked in. Waiting on the Murdog. And Murdog seems to be locked in. I can bring down, and we don't even have to get to the dum-dum, folks. So then I go over to Murdog, and I say, Murdog, what do you got?
It was either Tom Brady or Dan Marino.
Well, who do you have?
Marino on the board.
Murdog with the point.
I took Tom Brady.
Murdog's making a run here. It's 9-7 with 2 questions left. If Murdog gets the last 2 questions, we have a tie, and I have to go to a tiebreaker question.
Do you even have one?
Oh, of course I have tiebreaker questions. Are you out of your mind? I'm a professional here. Hit the like button, folks, for me having tiebreaker questions. I'm prepared for these kind of things. Oh, actually, I lied. There's only 1 question left. Murdog, you can't win. We did 4 in that category.
Oh, we did.
So I'm so far from professional. Don't like the video. Don't thumbs up.
No one likes
No thumbs down either, though.
No, yeah, no thumbs down, but you don't need to hit the thumbs up.
Now,
Just
do
back
thumbs
away from
down
the
actually
computer.
help the algorithm? Like, at least people
No,
are watching?
I don't think so.
Like,
I don't
any
think
publicity is good publicity?
I did a video and I got a thumbs down. And I was like, obviously, we know. But I was like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? Just don't do anything if you don't like it.
Yeah, you can click away after 30
Yeah,
seconds.
no, you got to take the extra step to be the dick. Like,
I'm not going to lie, I have thumbs down some videos.
New York Jets superfan says this question is the money ball worth 2. I'm not going to go that far. That we haven't done that in previous shows, so I can't put that in right now, unless Maddie agrees to it. But Maddie has the lead.
Fuck
Okay.
no, I'm not going to just give it.
no, if you clinch the win, take the win.
Like DB said it too. Last question worth 2 points? Question mark. See, if we ever did that, that would have to be like we
You
could
have
say
to set that at
next
the
week.
beginning.
Yeah, exactly. We'd have to say next week the last question's worth 2. We can't just bring it up now. That's not fair.
I would
Here we
make a
go.
suggestion, though, if I may. Like when you have a bunch of like a 3-part question, maybe points it. If you got 2 out of the 3, you get 2 points. Or
I've done
like when
that
you did the
before.
5.
No, I've done that before, but I'll announce it before I
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just to get more points on the board.
Maddie wants his throne back, and he's about to get it because we only have one question left. Here we go. Which NFL stadium has hosted the most Super Bowls? There we go, folks. Don't put your answers in the comments yet. This is the last question of Midnight Mike Show Trivia. Which NFL stadium has hosted the most Super Bowls?
Oh, shit. I have no fucking idea.
Time's up. Murdoch, what do you got?
The Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans.
Maddie, what do you got?
I don't have it. I was thinking it might be that, but I didn't put it down because I wasn't convinced. I figured it was either a Florida or a California stadium.
All right, Murdoch. There you go.
Go.
And then Metz gets a point. Michael gets a point. Hold on. Whoop. There it is. Wow. A lot of you guys. Good job. Valerie gets a point. DB gets a point. John Radcliffe gets a point. There we go. Great job, everybody. Once again, this is Midnight Mike Show Trivia on the Midnight Mike Show. And today, Matty Jets takes back his crown and is the king of Midnight Mike Show Trivia with a 9-8 victory.
Believe me, I ain't spiking any balls this game. That was...
Here's your crown, sir.
No, you keep that because I suspect you'll get it back next week.
I'll tell you that.
Well,
that
it's 2-2 anyway.
That was a close one.
Well, in the beginning, I was like, damn, I just hope I can get this margin of fucking loss. Like, shrink it down a little bit.
Definitely covered the spread.
Yeah, Murdoch, your girlfriend can't be too pissed at you for that loss.
I'll hear it anyway. You fucking loser.
Maddie, how much longer do you have? You can't get through. You can't get through the intermission.
I won't get through the intermission report. So if you guys are going to do that next, I'll take a bow. But if not, I can hang out for about 5 more minutes.
No, I mean I don't mind hanging out for 5. Why don't we just get into the intermission report? And then you leave when you have to. Okay. We probably won't even get to the top 5s. In that time frame. But those of you who are new, I don't know. Who knows? What we do in the intermission report is we do a very simple
Mike and Maddie's to the top 5.
And in that, we just want you guys in the comments section to start putting in generic top 5s. Top 5s, we've done top 5 football uniforms, top 5 whatever, top 5 movie theater foods. We've done tons. So there's some that you may put in. We go, oh, we did that one. But that's what we need you to do as we head into the intermission report. What we do is we pick one of your top 5s, we write them down, and then we read your guys in the comments top 5s. We go through our top 5s, and we have a great time here on the Midnight Mike Show. But let's do that. Let's hit this break for the Midnight Mike Show intermission report.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat.
Did I cut you off, Maddie? Were you saying something?
Oh, I just saw top 70s films. I'm like, oh, that's my wheelhouse right there.
I literally, I guess it wasn't 70, so I can bring it up. Before I got, you know what I finished watching about, 40 minutes before I came on here. Not only is it one of my favorite movies of all time, like top 3, but it's the best Star Wars movie ever. Maddie, what did I watch?
You watched it. Well, if it's the best Star Wars movie ever, it's Empire Strikes Back.
Bam! There you go.
But because it was 70s, I was like, wait, was it New Hope? Because Empire came out in 80. But
correct. That's why I corrected myself, and I was like, okay, I can mention it.
I've been doing a Rocky rewatch. I've been watching the Rockies again.
I've got to do that because my Alice was born in Philadelphia at Pennsylvania Hospital, which is literally the oldest hospital in the United States. It was around when we were colonies, and she just doesn't know anything about Rocky. So
well, I can tell you this: it's gonna be a slow burn if you have her watch the first one when she's older. because
I was thinking that because it's
starter
going to
with Rocky 4.
that exactly. Make her hate the Russians immediately,
Mm-hmm.
and then wait till she's older to show her the rapey scene where Sylvester Stallone almost rapes Adrian the first time they have sex.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah,
a little weird.
It's a little awkward.
All right, let's see what we got here. Top 5 all-time baseball players. That's not bad.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Top 5 favorite managers, coaches, any sport.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
I don't even know what this means. Can we do top 5 cat breeds?
Breeds.
Oh, cat breeds. It says
Cat brads
breeds.
are like really studly cats that just bang all the cats.
Yeah, there you go. Top 5 most memorable plays in Jets history. That's not bad, but I feel like I need to really, I mean, that's one I need to really think
Yeah, I
about.
kind of want to prep for that one.
Top 5 athletes named Maddie.
It's like the top 5 rappers of all time.
Have we done this? Top 5 Sylvester Stallone movies? Honestly, look, I love Sly and I love all of his films, but the Rocky movies would just be that top 5 for me.
I think it would at least be like 2
Maybe
of
like
5, if not 3, because Rocky 2 is kind of weak, but
First Blood could maybe sneak in
First
there.
Blood would get in there, but you have to have Rocky and then Rocky 4 for sure. And
Yeah, Rocky Balboa.
I'm not as hot on Rocky Balboa.
Oh, I love Rocky Balboa. I'd put Rocky 3 in there. I love
3 is a great one when we fight
Clubber Lang and Thunder Lips, the ultimate male. I'd leave out 2. I'd leave out 5. I'd even put in the Creed movies. Creed 1 and 2, not 3. I mean, Sly wasn't in that
3.
one. What?
I never saw 3.
No, me neither. I have no interest. What do you think who do you think you are, Michael Jordan? Who do you think you are, Michael Jordan? You're not Michael Jordan. You're Michael Jordan, the actor. You need to have Sly in your shit.
All right, fellas, I got a boogie. I'm sure I'll talk to you guys on Discord later tonight. And guys, everybody watching, hit the thumbs up. And good time tonight, and I will talk to you guys later.
Have a good one, Maddie. We appreciate it. All right. So Murdog, what are we gonna do here? We got a top 5 90s TV shows, top 5 all-time baseball players. We might have done that. That seems too.
I don't know if we've done that. Top 5 baseball? I don't know if we've done that.
Yeah, I think we have done that.
Maybe if you fill my time.
No, you know what I think we did? We did top 5 athletes in any sport.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like 4 or 5 Yankees on that list, including my honorable mentions. So I don't think it would be too exciting for that one. Let's see here. Top 5.
Yeah, that would be a diverse, especially when it comes to baseball. Like I always have different views.
Top 5s you've done. I don't even remember them all. So John, that would be tough. But there we go. Top 5 of all the top 5s you have done in the past 5 months and 5 days. I mean, you guys are just being wise asses now. Top 5 sex scenes in movies. Interesting. Connor, I could rock that easily. Could you rock that, Murdog, or do you not know enough about Kiss?
No.
All
Music,
right.
No way.
Connor, I think we've been through this, man. I think I'd go Parasite, Love Gun.
Oh God, Scotty.
What?
The next comment down.
Oh, top 5 Murdog enemies. Ooh.
I think that's a long fucking list. There's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, I could name some of those.
That's crazy. That's funny as shit, though.
Top five teams that could use Murdog on the offensive line.
I was a good defensive player.
What's up? What's up, Adirondack? How you doing? Oh, damn, I made it to the live show. What's up, Mike, Maddie, Murdog? Or you actually didn't say Maddie. Fuck you, Maddie. AFG says, fuck you, Maddie. Yeah, that's good. Thank you for being here, man. We appreciate it. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button on your way in. 100%. Sorry, Connor, I did not even finish that, but yeah, there's so many. I love Crazy Nights, believe it or not. I love it loud. War Machine. The title track to that album, Creatures of the Night, awesome song. Detroit Rock City, great song. But my favorite Kiss song is like I think Parasite. And I love Love Gun too. All right, we need to figure this out. So we have top 5 sex scenes in movies, top 5 90s TV shows. I want to go with one of those.
Wait, what was the first one? Because TV show, 90s TV shows I could do. What were the other ones? Baseball players I could definitely do.
No, but I said, we just kind of did something to that effect.
All right, what was the other selections though? The other choices?
Oh, DB says top 5 most difficult teams to root for in any sport, but that's really just your least favorite teams, which I feel like we've done. Let's do 90s TV shows. Let's do it. Because that one seems like it could be pretty easy. All right, folks, we're doing top 5 90s TV shows. Get your suggestions in the comments. Give us your top 5s. And then we will come up with our own. Let me just write a bunch out so that I can. All right. I'm not. By the way, I am going to avoid children's television shows because I feel like that's a completely different category. I'm going to go with standard television shows from the 90s. Oh, that's tough though, because there are a lot of good kids ones. Okay, I'm gonna add kids. We're not. I can't. I just have to. Got 3. That's easy. I got a few on here that are going to blow your mind, people.
My list would not be the cookie cutter list that everyone else loves. It would not be.
Well, I have a few of the ones that are the cookie cutter ones that are going to be in my honorable mentions because they're great shows, but I want to kind of show a little bit more guilty pleasures and a little bit more like off the cuff kind of deals. I mean, I could go whenever you want. I just need to.
This is actually harder than I thought.
Okay. I have 3 very standard honorable mentions that are going to be ones that like everybody picks because they're great shows. But my top 5 are just ones that are a little bit more off the off the beaten path, except for maybe one of them. One of them will be one I think that a lot of people will pick.
Yeah,
I see already a bunch of great ones in here that I just didn't even get to. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Scott. Everybody hit that thumbs up. It's free. Awesome. We got another super chat in here. Guys, look, I need them. I'm having a tough time over here. And this, I definitely appreciate this. Connor Long coming in with $5. He gets the Jets chant. Jets. And he comes in with his top 5 Kiss songs. Here are mine in no order. Okay, fair enough. Love Gun, awesome. Shout It Out Loud, great song. Detroit Rock City, great song. Rock and Roll All Night, good song. Calling Dr. Love, those are all good songs. The only problem I have with them is Rock and Roll All Night, Detroit Rock City, Shout It Out Loud. They're all Calling Dr. Love is the only one that I feel like isn't overly played. Like if you turn on the radio and a Kiss song comes on, number 1, it's going to be Rock and Roll All Night. Other than that, it's going to be Shout It Out Loud or Detroit Rock City. You might get a Love Gun in there. But I've started to throughout my history, as they call it, I've definitely like my favorite Kiss album is Creatures of the Night. I think Eric Carr is their best drummer. Rest in peace to the Fox. And that album I can listen to front to back. Same with Dynasty. Now Dynasty isn't now keep in mind a lot of even though it shows the 4 original members, a lot of them did, like Ace and Peter didn't really play on that album. Dynasty is a great album because it doesn't have any songs that I'm like, oh, I fucking love that song. But every song on there is like a B or a B- or a B+. So front to back, it's an album you can just listen to. Creatures of the Night, that album is banging. If you haven't really sat down, Connor, and listened to Creatures of the Night, please do it. But Connor, thank you for the $5. I really appreciate that. We need that over here in Midnight Mike World. And so, guys, if you can send in super chats, join the channel if you can, become a channel member. And those of you who can gift super chats, or I'm sorry, not gift super chats, gift channel memberships, please reach out and do so. I think like next week or whatever, we're going to do one of those things where if you guys get a certain amount of gifted channel memberships, I'll match it. Not tonight. I have too much going on tonight. But I still would love any help. I appreciate that. There we go. Valerie comes in with $5 and gets the Jets chant. Jets. Valerie, channel member, coming in with the $5. Don't want you to get banned from YouTube. I'm not going to get banned, but I definitely am on a kind of a probationary shadow ban thing right now, where they're not promoting my show as much, which is why I'm begging for people to hit that thumbs up button, because that's the only way to kind of counter that. And I understand over the next 60 to 90 days, it's going to be rough. So the more super chats come in, the more gifted channel memberships come in, the more thumbs up. That's the most important thing. All those things affect the algorithm, and more people will then be suggested this show. So it really does help out. So thank you guys. All right, Murdog, here we go. Let's do some honorable mentions first. Do you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I got a few because I was trying to think trying to stick in the 90s. Some of them started in the 90s, but I added them to the list because they started in the 90s. But it was hard to put together this list because, you guys were watching shows. I was busy finger blasting girls in the park. So my list isn't probably as.
I hope your girlfriend caught that one, because that had nothing to do with me messing with you. That was just you offering up that information.
Yeah, undoubtedly. All right.
Give me your honorable mentions. That's it.
All right. Step by Step.
Hell yeah. Patrick Duffy, Suzanne Summers. Yeah. When I was a kid during that time, what girl, they had the 3 girls on the show. They had the blonde,
two older sisters. Yeah.
But then the younger tomboy.
Yeah. She is smoking hot.
Yes. Now. Yes, she is
smoking hot now. Wow.
See, when I was a kid, it was either that, I guess it was the middle sister who was like the fashionista one with the dark hair,
brunette. Yeah.
Or I liked the youngest.
Yeah.
But that the older blonde one was like a feminist, uppity,
the one was the middle one was a ditz. But they weren't from the same parents. One was Patrick Duffy's.
No, the youngest was Patrick Duffy's. The 2 older girls were Suzanne Summers.
Right. Okay.
But the oldest one was a little lippy.
Yeah, but I thought she was cute. They all had their appeal. The two older ones for sure. But man, that younger one now. Wow.
Yeah.
She does
have you seen? Well, no, I mean, I didn't think she was that cute at the time. Oh, here's another show. This will go under my honorable mentions. The Wonder Years. Winnie Cooper on the Wonder Years. I didn't think she. Maybe it started in the 80s, moved into the 90s, but I didn't find her that attractive. I thought she was pretty, but now, over the past 15 years, she did those Maxim smoking hot.
Yeah, she aged well. She
did. Absolutely.
I remember in the 80s, I was like,
Danica McKellar. That's her name.
Danica McKellar.
What are your other honorable mentions?
All right. So I said something. Parker Lewis, Can't Lose.
Wow.
I like that.
Wow, that's a deep cut.
I enjoyed that show. To keep it live action, I actually liked Full House.
Oh, I love Full House.
Okay.
Still to this day, my daughters are into it now, and I still enjoy it. Especially that. Remember that. Oh, first off, I loved any episode where the Beach Boys showed up. And then I loved the one where they went to Hawaii and got lost on that island, but they actually weren't lost. They were actually just 10 feet away from the concert, the Hawaiian concert that they were supposed to go to. And then they, of course, got on stage and Uncle Jesse sang Rockahula. Great show.
I don't remember
Great,
the line,
great show.
I think the next one is going to be Ren and Stimpy.
Love Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, I like that show a lot.
Powdered Toast Man, the log, the toy log. I mean, you can't go wrong with that show. The horse, no sir, I don't like it. Yeah, great show. Any other honorable mentions?
I just kept it to there because I didn't want to get too hard into the animated. Although I did.
All right, I'll nail my honorable mentions because they're ones I feel like everyone is going to mention about the 90s, and I love them. That's why they're here. But I want to do a little bit more surprise on my top 5. The Simpsons, Friends, Seinfeld. All great shows. They deserve to be honorably mentioned on this list. But now we're going to get into the top 5. Murdog, what is your number 5?
Yeah, I kept those off my list on purpose. Excuse me. Not that I think everyone loves Seinfeld. I think I was just like, fuck them. I don't like them because everyone else did. You know,
I felt like that with both Friends and Seinfeld in the first like season or two as they gained popularity, and everyone was like, you gotta watch these shows. And then eventually my stepmom at the time was watching them, and I would sit down, and then all of a sudden I was hooked. So once it got to like season 3, I was hooked. As a matter of fact, Friends, I think I was hooked in season 2.
I think for Seinfeld, I didn't like some of the characters because they reminded me of people that I knew in real life. And since I didn't like those people in real life, I kind of projected it onto the show too. There was some funny moments for sure, but I was just like, nah, okay.
Okay, so my number 5 is going to be I don't know how many of you are going to remember this show, but it was like, you know, cop dramas and stuff like that were a dime a dozen in the 90s and into the 2000s. But this one kind of flew under the radar. New York Undercover. I loved New York Undercover. I don't know why, but it had the black cop and the Spanish cop, and the Spanish cop. I don't remember his name. The black cop's name was like Malik Yoba, his real name. I don't remember the actor who played the Spanish cop, but I do remember that he was one of the dancers in one of the gangs in Michael Jackson's "Beat It" video.
Wow.
Yeah. Murdog, what's your
number? Like NYPD Blue?
No, New York Undercover.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. My number 5.
Number 4. You said they're number 5.
No, Ren and Stimpy was my last of my.
Then what's your number 5? I could have swore you said your number 5.
No.
Parker Lewis?
No, he was on the honorable mention. I got
okay. Then what's your number 5?
Home Improvement.
Hell yeah! I can't believe I didn't think it. Love Home Improvement.
I love it. Could be higher on my list too, if I'm being honest.
Dude, Home Improvement is a great show.
Yeah.
I honestly, it's funny that Tim Allen did Home Improvement. Then he did Last Man Standing, which was the exact same show, except with 3 girls. And now he's doing another show where his daughter, his estranged daughter, moves in with him, but he's still playing in every one. He's just playing Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Yeah, he would be near the top of the list of TV dads. If we did a TV moms and a TV dads top 5, that'd be good.
That's actually an idea, Murdog.
I know.
One year or one episode to do top 5 TV dads. Yeah, TV moms, TV dads. We got to keep that in the back burner. Guys, remember that.
What freaks? That's 2 episodes right there.
Yeah, remember that in the comments section because that's one we will pick out. All right, what's your number 4 then?
I'm just trying to see if I should rework the order, but I'm gonna go Family Guy. Started in 1999.
Absolutely.
That's why it made the list because it started in the 90s.
And I remember when I was watching that first season of Family Guy when it came out, how shocking! Like that was a show that we went into. That was my senior year, and I remember going into school and talking to people and being like, "Can you believe what they said on fucking Family Guy? Like, can you believe these jokes?"
The shock value. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's actually how I got into it. Was my cousin.
All right. Oh, Michael Nero brings up New York Groove. Now that's not technically a Kiss song. It's an Ace Frehley song off his single album that when Kiss put out all the 4 solo albums. So technically Ace Frehley song, Frehley, whatever. My number 4 is John Lovitz in The Critic. Do you remember Yeah, The Critic was a great show, completely underrated, and it actually did a crossover with The Simpsons. So check that out. But yeah, John Lovitz cracks me the fuck up.
Yeah,
like almost anything he does, he fucking makes me laugh. That's my number 4. Murdoch, give me your number 3.
Well, sticking with the same vein, I'm going South Park. Started in '97.
That's another one. You'd go into school or you'd go into work and you'd be like, "Did you fucking see this show?" Now it's like nothing.
Well, because you know me well enough to know I am the exact polar opposite of politically correct. I don't like political correctness. So the way they just obliterated it, was an instant magnetization for me to just flock to that show.
All right, Murdoch, what was that? Your number 4?
That was my number 3.
That was your number 3. Let me give you my number 3. This was the one kid show I did end up putting on this list, and it's I own the available seasons that are available to own. The 3rd season, unfortunately, was never officially released on DVD or anything, but it's a Nickelodeon show. It had 2 seasons along with tons of what they called like shorts that were like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. But The Adventures of Pete and Pete, fucking great. Like even watching it now as an adult, you would not believe like the guest stars that were on Pete and Pete. I can't even. Oh God, what's his? Steve Buscemi. He played Michelle Trachtenberg, who just died. Rest in peace. He played her father, and then also I think a reoccurring character for a couple episodes was Iggy Pop.
Really?
He was one of the dads in the neighborhood, and it was just so weird because I knew of Iggy Pop because of my cousin, who's my mom's cousin, so my second cousin. He got me into all like this crazy like rock, like Iggy Pop and T-Rex, Mark Bolan, and stuff like that. And when I saw it, I went, "Oh my God, that's Iggy Pop!" Even as a kid, and I thought that was really cool. But anyway, Adventures of Pete and Pete, my number 3. Murdoch, your number 2.
I don't know what this kind of Mad TV.
Hell yeah,
Mad TV was 10 times better than Saturday Night Live.
See now you're pushing it because Saturday Night Live over the past 20 years has been absolute shit and trash. But in the 90s with Will Ferrell, Chris Kattan, Molly Shannon, Sherry O'Terry, Tim Meadows, like that group, I loved that shit. So what I would do is I'd watch Mad TV would come on like either an hour or a half hour before SNL. So I'd watch that and had like Artie Lang the first season and people like that. And then I'd switch over to SNL. But I love Mad TV. So
I like Mad TV more because they never got the love because they weren't like mainstream. It was like, oh, Saturday Night Live. And I was like, these guys are hilarious on Mad TV. And it's just outrageous skits to where, I had to go with the underdog.
Well, and another thing is they had an outstanding theme song.
Mad.
You're so crazy. Mad. Whoa. You are now watching Mad TV. Yeah, I love
some of my favorite. Even they're still funny today or from that show. Some of the characters on there were just outstanding. And
all right. Well, my number 2 is I think my most mainstream of this list, Married with Children. You can't go wrong with Married with Children. Al Bundy's the fucking man.
So those were the 80s.
What?
I thought they would have definitely been near the top of my list. I thought they were an 80s show.
No, Married with Children started in 88 or 89, but went 10 seasons. So it took place mostly in the 90s.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I just totally looked at them as an 80s show. They would definitely be at the top of my list.
Yeah. You're number 1 or number 2? Where are we at with you?
Oh, number 1. But like I said, Married with Children, if it's classified as 90s, would be up probably at number 1, if not 2. But sticking true to who I am, since I've watched every single episode created, it's WWE Monday Night Raw.
Oh, come on. I feel like that's a cop out, and I feel like
I've watched every episode.
Killing me.
SmackDown came later, but
You're killing me, Smalls.
I've watched every episode since like 93 when it started in 93, 94 era.
Monday night.
I watched every episode. So that has to be my favorite, no? Because I still watch it today.
I'm gonna be a little less homosexual, a little bit more manly with my number one, and say my number one. You ready for this? Melrose Place. Boom.
Damn, take your skirt off, like
dude. Anyone who doesn't believe me, you can't watch season one. Season one sucks until Heather Locklear shows up. But season 2 to season 5 is like some of the best television you'll ever watch. It's so trashy. Every episode ends with someone being killed, coming back to life, a building being blown up, a ghost showing up, some bullshit. It is fucking outstanding. If you don't know Melrose Place, you need to know it.
I thought it was just people like living in a courtyard banging each other.
That's what the show started out as. The show started out as a spinoff to Beverly Hills 90210, which I also love. But it started off as a spinoff, and the first season, like most of the first season, was just like lame, like, I'm having trouble paying rent. Oh, I lost my job. But then when Heather Locklear came on and it got into like season 2, I'm telling you, man, there's people getting raped. There's people being buried alive and coming out. There's people joining cults. There's buildings. There's people coming back from the dead. There's people. I mean, it's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. And I'm telling you, season 2 through season 5 of Melrose Place is some of the best television that ever happened.
Jesus, if Scott is right, I'm not looking at those as 90s. Sopranos and Oz?
Well, those are super late 90s.
Yeah, because I classified those as 2000s because those two have definitely been on the list.
Well, real
that
quick,
70s show was in consideration. Great
viewership tonight. All I ask from everybody, I said this before, but more people, our numbers keep going up, and that's probably because you guys keep hitting that thumbs up. I just ask that you guys do that. As soon as we get out of this intermission report, we're going to talk more New York Jets. We're going to take your calls and all of that stuff with as much time as we have. But Mets 2128 says Seinfeld, Friends, Walker, Texas Ranger, Don't Fuck with Chuck, Seventh Heaven, with the rapey dad, and Jessica Biel before she was super
rapey
hot.
Dad?
Jessica Biel. Yeah, the dad on that show was caught with child porn.
In real life?
In real life, absolutely.
Wow.
And sister. Wow, Tia and Tamara. Interesting.
Maori.
Yeah, hell yeah. Lane comes in, says Full House, New York Jets super fan, Seinfeld, Beverly Hills 90210, hell yeah, Friends, Sopranos, Saved by the Bell. Hell yeah.
Kept that off the list.
Saved by the Bell is fucking awesome. Valerie, Roseanne, love Roseanne.
Me too. Fuck.
Murdoch, going through this list, is the 90s like the best decade of television?
We missed a lot. Roseanne, I saw all the episodes too. Not the new ones.
Can we include paid TV shows? No, Scott, we don't count the Spice Channel. Okay? I don't care that you were watching through fuzzy, whatever to try to catch a boob. It's not how it works. Miguel Padilla comes in, Married with Children, In Living Color, we forgot. Family Matters, we forgot. Golden Girls, Voltron, all of them awesome. Now, Voltron I would have put in a completely different category with other kick-ass cartoons like Thundercats, He-Man, things like that. But that's where I would have put
the Living Color I thought of, but I went with Mad TV as the sketch comedy show. Family Matters I remembered.
DB, I have no problem with that. As a matter of fact, I would say we can make, I don't even know if I'd be able to come up. My whole pop culture like genius ends at like 2004. If I had to pick my favorite show of the 2000s, it would have been The Simple Life with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. How about that?
What?
Dude, underrated. I'm telling you. John Radcliffe says America's Most Wanted, Seinfeld, Becker. Wow, Becker, Frasier, Attitude Era, Raw, and Smack. Get out of here.
Attitude Era is the best era ever.
Oh, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that.
And that was the 90s, like mid-90s.
I've never heard a Kiss song on the radio, and I'm thankful for that. Go fuck yourself. How about that?
Damn.
Oh my God, Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, he's on my list.
I love Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead on my honorable mention list.
You didn't say it.
I didn't say Beavis and Butthead?
No, you didn't.
It's on my list.
Because I'm rewatching Beavis and Butthead right now. Hell yeah, Lane Martin.
Oh, Martin.
Remember Bra Man, who just came in through the window and asked for a sandwich?
Yo, bro, man, from the fifth floor.
You just want a sandwich.
That was a good one, Gator.
Oh, Cops. Very good. And yeah, Voltron, dude, AFG, Voltron was 80s. Transformers was 80s. These are 90s, buddy.
My dad does Brother Man.
Oh, he does?
That's like one of his favorite characters on TV is Brother Man. He still does recites it. Brother Man from fifth floor.
Mr. Padilla comes in, says Unsolved Mysteries, still watch it to this day. Star Trek The Next Generation, America's Most Wanted, X-Files, good show. Cops, very good, guys. Yes, Lane, Wonder Years. Full House is a banger. I've never heard it described like that.
Wonder Years is 80s, no?
What?
Wonder Years is that.
No, Wonder Years was once again one of those 88, 89 shows that traveled into the 90s.
Just where I'm classifying them in my brain. You know, I filed that away to the 80s.
Ren and Stimpy was Rick and Morty before Rick and Morty. Ren and Stimpy was SpongeBob before SpongeBob. Okay, I don't like SpongeBob, but I love Ren and Stimpy. Work that out.
Who wears square pants?
All right.
Ren and Stimpy was great.
A funny thing is DB's making fun of us for being old. Sorry for the dinosaurs who don't get the reference. How about the show Dinosaurs? Not the mama.
On ABC, that was terrible.
No, it wasn't.
Come on.
It wasn't. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
Like the baby, the baby looked like a literal piece of shit. Like literal, it was like the shape of a log, a shit log.
Hell yeah, Miguel. New York Under Fire. New York Undercover was fire. Actor was Michael DiLorenzo. Yes, and he's in the Beat It video with Michael Jackson and dances. You could watch him do the whole.
Yeah, that was like the Mad TV version of NYPD Blue. Like it didn't get the love that it deserved.
I know, guys. We have to get our list through before I go through your guys' lists. I'm going through them now. I mean, I'm about to run out here, just because it's we're getting it. Yes, Married with Children started in the late '80s, but it went well into the '90s.
Yeah, but like I said, my brain files it into the '80s. But you're right.
Yeah, the Fly Girls from In Living Color, fucking J-Lo was one of them. Hell yeah, Fire Marshal Bill.
And you had Jim Carrey, Fire Marshal Bill. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, Sopranos, Oz, That 70s Show, Frasier, Drew Carey Show. All good ones. Dream On, not bad. Hey, how about Get a Life? Do you remember it was only one season with Chris Elliott? He was a paper boy and lived above his parents' garage. That was underrated. Great show. Miguel, I think it's on Hulu. Just try. I mean, if you can, it's hard to be able to tell somebody to get into a show without watching the first season because you learn the characters. But the first season is hard to watch until Heather Locklear shows up. But the second through fifth season are fucking insane.
I'm surprised you didn't say the Powerpuff Girls.
I'm not gay.
Debatable.
All right, that's where we're gonna cut it off.
Let's know those places. You're number one. Gee.
Dude, I've watched that entire series in my life, all the way through, all 9 seasons or whatever it is, probably 15 times. And keep in mind, this was back when shows weren't 10 episodes a season. Back in Melrose Place time, there was like 30 hour-long episodes per season. So it's no bullshit. All right, let's get out of this intermission report. I'll drop the thing in the chat. I want to get your calls. We'll go a little late tonight, see what happens, and we'll see, depending on you guys, how late I stay. But let's get out of this intermission report, and we will be right back.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat.
All right, folks, we started off this show talking all things New York Jets. We talked the draft, we talked free agency, and we want you guys, if you want, I'm going to put the link in the chat now. If you guys want to call in, talk about those things, talk about the things we talked about with Ian from Jet Central. If you're just joining us now, we spent 30, 40 minutes with Ian from Jet Central at the top of this show. And when we get off the air here, the show stays free for everybody. So please go back, check it out. And if you can, once the show's off the air, drop a comment down below and I'll get that comment to Ian, and and if it's a question, I'll get his answer, whatever needs to be. But whatever you guys want to talk about, we can talk about. Murdog, you're gonna hopefully you can get Ian on a show soon. Doing a mock chat.
I like to have. I mean, everybody in the chat. It's an open invitation to everybody. Really, if anybody wants to even hit me up in the Discord and be like, Murdog, can I come on and let's do a mock draft tonight? I'll go live and do a show with whoever wants to come hang out.
Real quick, DB gets the Jets chant. I love giving the Jets chant to fans of other teams. There you go, buddy. Jets. DB, channel member, channel moderator, comes in with $2. Did anyone watch Super Bowl halftime shows before 93? I did, but they were lame. They were like bands and they like high school bands and shit like that. It wasn't until, was it Michael Jackson who did the 93 one? Because once Michael Jackson's one hit, it was like from that point on, Super Bowl halftime shows had to be huge. And I still think Michael Jackson's is probably one of the best, if not top 5, top 3. In the history of Super Bowls. But yeah, DB, I love now keep in mind, ever since Apple took over the Super Bowl halftime show, they've been trash in my opinion. They're just less production, less everything. It used to be like whoever the guy was who did this year's Super Bowl halftime show, I don't even know who it was.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but anyway, I thought it was terrible. And usually you have other, like back in the day, you'd have like Aerosmith, and then all of a sudden like Britney Spears would come out, and then NSYNC would come out, and whatever, and it'd still be Aerosmith's halftime show, but they'd be bringing out all these other people from different genres. Who did this Kenny Lamar bring out? Nobody.
Did he bring out Beyonce?
No, he didn't bring out Beyonce. I think he brought out the tennis girl.
She was a dancer for him doing a crip walk. Yeah, Serena Williams.
Whatever. My point being is that Super Bowl halftime shows have been trashed since Pepsi, wasn't promoting them. So that's where it is. All right, let's get to some of your calls. We got to start this off right, of course. Let's see here. Let's bring him in. It's Mets 2128.
Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really...
How you doing tonight, Mets?
Hey guys.
What up, Mets?
I saw your list, but what you love that Walker Texas Ranger, huh?
Don't fuck with Chuck Norris, specifically the OG version of the show. Jared Padalecki is fine, but he doesn't have the same charisma as Chuck.
Wait, so somebody took over the Walker role?
In the reboot. There was a reboot.
Nobody buys that shit. It's Chuck Norris or nobody.
That's for sure.
Did you agree with any of the other picks that you saw come up, other people?
Yeah, but there were some others that slipped my mind. I mean, Boy Meets World, the Carmen Sandiego game shows.
Wait, Mets, do you know if Carmen Sandiego is available on any streaming platform? Because I'd love to watch that with my kids.
The original 90s series?
Yeah,
No,
with Rockapella?
not that version. The closest ones I found are on free streams, and that's the Where on Earth is Carmen Sandiego cartoon series.
But that doesn't have Rockapella, right?
Correct, it does not.
No, you got to have them singing the doo up, doop a doo a doo up.
Yeah.
That's what almost made the show.
True. I completely forgot about Full House and Family Matters, even though technically both actually got started in the 80s.
And they also had a crossover episode where Urkel showed up on Full House because Stephanie got glasses, and and he had to prove to her that it wasn't uncool to have glasses. But of course, it was Urkel. But then he came up with, but then Urkel came out with that great machine where he could walk in and come out as Stefan, and he was just the coolest dude in town.
It's basically them. But personally, I think that outhouse turning him into that was just basically the way of him of letting out the person he believed he should be, not the person he is, which was my biggest gripe with that little plot device.
Well, my problem is that they jumped the shark with that, because not only did they have Stefan, but then eventually he started going in and coming out as random other people. Like,
Bruce Lee.
yeah, that's when I was like, okay, I think I'm done with this show. And the one daughter, Judy, who one day went upstairs and then never showed up on the show again after like season 4, and then she ended up doing porn.
And do we need to bring up the Steve-O Halloween episodes?
Oh, with the puppet?
Ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
Reminds you too much of the Night of Living Dumming series from Goosebumps with Slappy.
Well, or Chucky.
It reminded me more of Slappy than Chucky.
Yeah, I guess so, because Chucky is a little bit more serious. You're right. It's closer to Goosebumps. Real quick, we got another super chat in the house. Scott! Jets! He comes in with $1.99 and he says Murdog has a 24-hour draft channel. Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, last Saturday night, I went past midnight, and then Murdog did a 7-hour stream. Like, what the fuck?
Might do it tonight.
Oh God, that's insane. Like, I could not imagine. Now, Mets, Rogers watch. I know you're pumped up.
Do not go there. I mean, I'm now hearing rumors he's heading to Minnesota.
I have heard those rumors too. I've heard that he is using the New York Giants as leverage to get a better pay in Minnesota or in Pittsburgh.
Still, if he goes to Minnesota, deja vu much?
Yeah, that's the problem. He needs to distance himself from the comparisons to Brett Favre. Like, it's getting a little weird. It's getting like,
does that, then we are almost guaranteed to get Jordan Love in about 10 years.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited for Jordan Love to be our quarterback in 2034. It's going to be amazing.
But for now, let's just stick with Justin for 2 years and see what we get out of him.
Mets, you're a Giants fan. Who's your quarterback going to be this year?
Whoever we get in the damn draft, whether it's Ward, Shador, I don't give a rat's ass at this point.
I don't think you're getting either of them. I think they're going 1 and 2. I think this whole, I personally think this whole Shador Sanders.
Kenny Pickett.
Where did Pickett end up going to?
Cleveland.
Okay, because I saw a quote from him where Kenny Pickett was like, I think I'm a NFL starting quarterback. Like, I think I'm that. Like, basically very confident. And I'm sitting there being like, what are you talking about? Like, look at your body of work. You're not a starter. You're a backup.
And look how often you got killed in Pittsburgh.
And then people said,
oh my God, they killed Kenny.
You bastards.
He's his third team, right? Already?
Yes.
He was the Eagles guy, too.
Well, to be fair, I mean, look at how many teams at this point Joe Flacco has played for. Sam Darnold has played for.
I mean, already. He's still on his rookie contract.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We got another. Hold on, we got another super chat in the house, which gets the Jets chant. Jets. Miguel, I hope you saw I put up your pictures earlier at the top of the show of your water bottle with the Jet, with the Midnight Mike Show stickers on it, and your computer, and you holding them up. I really appreciate that. And he says, hold on. He says, with $2, I fell asleep watching Murdog's draft last week. Yeah, there's no way anyone could have stayed awake after me going past midnight. Like, you have to literally, the sun's coming up and Murdog's only getting into like his third draft.
I'm wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
Building this franchise.
And now Darnold is in Seattle demanding a 3-year contract. Yeah, like he's going to get that.
Real quick, Michael Lando says Beavis and Butthead lined it up with halftime. Yeah, Beavis and Butthead had an awesome halftime show, which I definitely watched that. And then they had the Rock versus Mankind empty arena match, which was awesome. So
Mankind won the title, his first title.
Second.
That's right.
His,
WCW.
his first title was the one where Eric Bischoff came on the air and told everybody, and then everybody tuned into Raw because they wanted to see that.
It was Shivani, not Bischoff.
Oh, Shivani, you're right. You're right. Good call. I think it was it was Bischoff who told Shivani to announce it.
True.
If I was Rogers, I would choose Minnesota. Well, yeah, they have a better team, but it's like, do you really want to be like? Because I don't think he's gonna have the same success Brett Favre did in Minnesota. I mean, they're a better team, but Favre went and took him to the NFC Championship game. So,
what next? A halftime show run by King of the Hill or the PJs?
What are the PJs? Is that young?
It was a stop motion show directed by Eddie Murphy about this superintendent and his wife living in a condo. It was short for the projects.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Scott coming in gets the Jets chant. Guys, keep it up. You guys are doing awesome tonight with these super chats. Mike, did you see the video I posted in Discord? When did you post it? That matters. And I don't know what video are we talking about. I'm not actually sure if I saw it.
I'll be right back.
All right, Murdog. Mets. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Would you be happy with Russell Wilson for your Giants?
Yeah.
Would you rather have Russell Wilson than Aaron Rodgers?
At this point, yes. But then again, we need a damn O-line to safeguard Russ if we get him.
What makes you, as a Giants fan, want Russell Wilson over Aaron Rodgers? I think Russell Wilson is completely washed. But
Russell
I don't.
Still has a few more years left to him. At least
so does Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers could play another year or two.
But Wilson doesn't have that big ego that Rodgers has.
Now that's fair. That's fair. Scott wants to know if we all remember the halftime show where Metz was shoving pizza down his hole. Metz, what Super Bowl was that you did that?
I think that would have been 56.
Ah, I missed that, dude. Is it on your channel?
If it is, it is, but it was like in my early days. No StreamYard content back then.
Wow. So Scott's not even kidding here. This was real. You did a halftime show where you just kept eating pizza on your channel.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I can't believe I haven't seen that. Oh, we got to bring Murdog back in. This is insane. Murdog, did you know about this?
Metz shoving pizza down his hole? What hole? Which one?
A halftime show. He did a halftime show where he was just gobbling up pizza.
Like in his mouth?
He just admitted it. He said it was during Super Bowl 56, he thinks. Like, I'm going to have to go back. This is something maybe DB can help me. We got to find this. How did we not know about this? Teflon Don, we already know. You already wrote this. You wrote this earlier in the show. The Jets are cheeks. We know. The Jets suck. I mean, it's just not
that. It was probably an intermission report between it was a hockey game with an intermission report between Washington and Pittsburgh, which was probably my next. Yeah, it was one of those two.
Did we get clarification on which hole he shoved him in, the pizza?
I'm assuming top hole. Mouth.
Oh, I was just saying, well, he's a bottom, so I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers is 3 times the quarterback that Rusted Wilson is. Agree. Completely agree. Scott Foster. Today, Mike, the video was Ken O'Brien and Al Toon talking about their time together with the Jets. I will watch it. As soon as we get off the show, I will check that out. 100%.
Capital Penguins game, but that's hockey, and it wasn't even an intermission report. It was during the game.
But it was, I am right that it was the top hole that you were shoving it in,
yes.
Mets? Okay. There you go. Fair enough. All right, Mets, I got some people waiting in the back, and what I'm going to do is one more time, I'm going to drop that link because I'm going, I'm feeling a little crazy tonight. I don't know if I'll go to midnight. We'll see. But we'll, the bottom hole only happens on the old Howard Stern show. I have the old Howard Stern. I was watching a clip of the old Howard Stern show where he had a girl laying on the floor of his studio naked, and he was slapping the shit out of her with a fish, like a full on fish that you'd like throw at the Seattle markets, and boy was that exciting. But Mets, thank you so much for coming in. Hopefully we'll see you Tuesday night.
Peace.
See you later, Mets. That show introduced me to the Sibian.
Hell yeah. My favorite Sibian ride was Carmen Electra.
I got to see that one. I didn't see that. Can you
I think it's available on Daily Motion.
Wow.
Yeah. She's wearing like a little like plaid schoolgirl skirt, and she hops right on the Sibian, and yeah, it's nice.
That'd be great.
Nice.
That would be one.
Most of the time it's like porn stars and things like that.
Yeah,
Like, when he can talk like an actress into getting on the Sibian or something like that. Carmen Electra did it, and then like Octomom did it. And like, do you remember Octomom?
Yeah. But damn, Carmen Electra. She's been ran through, often.
Well, she was with or married to Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
So she got pounded.
You can't follow that.
No, how are you going to follow Dennis Rodman, our ambassador to North Korea?
I mean,
Like, come on now. Richard Christie would have shoved anything up his butt. Yeah, I love Richard and Sal. I mean, they were in that last era of when Stern was good. One of the funniest one was when Richard and Sal, ICP, was on the Howard Stern show, and Richard and Sal came in with their penises painted like ICP's face paint, and Violent J and Shaggy got fucking pissed. Like, they were pissed. And that's a great episode. There's so many. DJ, one of our Bills fans, go Bills. I still say Murdoch was robbed in last week's QB draft. Hey, DJ, we had Ian from Jet Central on. I had him pick the winner, and he picked Murdoch. So I almost gave you an extra point for that.
Yes, now we're bonded for life.
Absolutely. All right.
Or pick it from the 3 spot with the Jets quarterbacks. It's hard.
Let's go to our phones again. He's been waiting. I really appreciate it. So let's bring him on, see what he has to say. It's the Lane Train. How you doing, Lane?
Hey, what's up, Lane?
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Hi, Murdoch. Hi, Minute Mike. Yeah, I mean, I liked Ian on in the beginning and stuff. He had a lot of stuff to talk about the draft and the Giants and stuff. Now, how do you feel about the draft? I mean, like, who did the Giants get?
The Giants?
Yeah, and the Jets.
Well, the Giants, I mean, they need a quarterback. I don't think a quarterback's going to be available. I think the whole Shador Sanders falling ain't gonna happen. Those teams need quarterbacks, but we'll see. Murdoch, what do you think? What do you think the Giants are going to do in the draft?
I think they're going to have. I don't know. They might. If the Giants were smart, they'd kick the can down the road one more year for next year's quarterback-heavy draft class, and just take the best positional player available, whether it be defensive tackle, offensive tackle.
But to be fair, Murdoch, I don't think Brian Daboll and company have an extra year.
Yeah.
Hold on, Lane. We're getting a lot of background noise.
Oh, okay. All right.
Is that your TV? Yeah, yes. I can hold on. Oh, okay, there we go. Look how beautiful Lane's ceiling is. That is a nice ceiling.
Oh, there's something else I want to talk about also.
No problem.
About the top thing
Thank
about
you, Rich.
each NFL player, I would have to say that Mark Sanchez, because when he was drafted, was it 1998 when he was drafted?
No, it was much later than that.
Because I know that. Do you remember that season, that game when they played the Raiders and it was snowing? Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I thought they were going to win.
Lane, how did we get to Mark Sanchez? Is he your favorite 90s television show?
Well, okay. Now, because we talked about the top sports, now my favorite 90s show, Blossom. I can't believe we didn't get into. Do you remember the episode? Yeah, when she choked.
Well, and not only Blossom, but Six. What was her Damn, what was that girl's name? Her name in
Jenna
the show was Jenna what?
Jenna, I think was her real name.
He grew up to be in more movies.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Real
But
quick,
that
we got a
was-
big one. We got a big one here. Let's hit that Jets chant. Jets, Jets, Jets. This is what I needed tonight, folks. You're making me feel great. Keep hitting those thumbs up button. But Michael Lando Calrissian, channel member, comes in with $10. And he says, just because I love the show and I want to keep supporting you makes my Saturday night every week. JETS, 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 Jets. Those are the comments I love the most because it makes it worth it for me, Maddie, and Murdog to do this. When you guys come in and just like, I love hearing that you guys wait. You know, I love watching you guys on Saturday or Tuesday or whatever. That makes all this worth it. It really does. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. But keep going, Lane. You got Blossom. What else?
You know what I realized? I actually liked Mad TV. You remember back in like the 90s? And Saturday, I don't know why, but it feels like Saturday Night Live used to be so funny. Now it's just like,
Well,
now it's just
it
dumb.
did used to be funny. It's just not funny over the past like 10, 15,
I don't
20
get
years.
it. I don't even know who's on the show anymore. It's like all young. Like what happened back in the day when you had like, you know, like you had Will Ferrell, Chris Kattan,
You know, they got too political.
Meadows.
About
And
10
now
years
it's
ago,
like-
we got ultra political. 10 years
Yes.
ago, and it was just like, all right, no more.
And the thing is that SNL always did political stuff, but they'd hit both sides. It was just
Yeah.
like now it's just clearly propaganda.
Was it
And that-
was it gonna go off the air actually because it got to like, you know,
woke?
what was it?
I feel like there was a few years, Lane, where SNL almost lost it. I feel like they almost lost it a couple of years ago, and then there was one year in like the early 90s, like 90, 91, where they almost lost it. But they've been around for 50 years. Real quick, Rich, thank you for hanging out, man. I know it's late. This is the Midnight Mike Show. It's what we do. But anytime on a Saturday or Tuesday night, we're here for you, buddy. We're here for you. Anything else, Lane? What do you know, the TV shows, anything on free agency?
Yeah, and so going into like free agency, I would have to say Jets have to get Dixon, or you go after Taylor Johnson. Because I
We
think
got
that-
Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler
We got
Johnson.
Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, we got him.
You talking about a defensive tackle, Dixon?
Yeah, you can get him.
I don't want to hear this. Hold on, real quick, Scott. This is done. This is done. This whole Midnight Mike thing doesn't go to midnight thing. In the past like month or so, I've gone to midnight like 3 or 4 times. Like, come on, man. Like, give me a break here. Fuck all you. Fuck you, DB. Go to hell. Go to hell, you guys.
He's 11-15, Mike.
Oh, okay, DB. I appreciate that. No, yeah, 11-15 Mike is a lot more accurate. But lately I've been doing midnight and I've been rocking it. So it is what it is.
Oh, this happens when you're having a good time.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm just really looking forward to all these MLB team, minor league, breakouts, like all the minor league. It's like a
Lane Train. I follow one minor league team, the Hartford Yard Goats.
I never heard them before.
You got to check them out, man. They have some of the best hats that you could have.
Oh, it's funny what we did talking about hats. I started thinking about the A's. What the world was that? And the Astros.
I didn't see the Astros one, but I saw the A's ass one. And then I saw the Tetas one for the Texas Rangers. And then
those are going to be the hat. Okay.
No. They already pulled almost all of them. Like you can't get them.
Then against the rule, yeah. I mean, if I ever see Mets with a bad word on it, I don't think anybody's going to go to games I don't think they would ever put an F on the Mets hat.
I don't know, Lane. I think the hats with bad words would sell better than the ones without.
Yeah, like any like hole or F on the Mets. No, honestly, I don't like the Yankees white pinstripe spring training hats. Those just don't look like. They remind me of the 1 year that when the Mets went to all snow cone hats with the blue rim. That was it 1997, the alternate. I don't like them.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Yankees changing anything on their uniforms. I'm old
Yeah.
school. Like I won't buy a Yankee uniform or a Yankee jersey if it has the Nike swoosh on it. I won't buy it.
They're
Just-
so expensive. Like,
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know
that too.
I don't know why, just to buy it. That's why whenever I get like a Mets stuff, I don't get a Mets jersey. It costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna waste money on a $10 was it Brett Beatty jersey if that's why I have these t-shirts.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. Like when Aaron Rodgers joined the Jets, I didn't go out and buy an Aaron Rodgers jersey. I went out and just bought the t-shirt. So because I knew it's like I will not buy jerseys for the Jets anymore because the players just come and go so quick.
Yeah. All right. I think you have to take other calls, so I'm gonna let you go.
No problem, Lane. Thank you for calling in. It's always appreciated. I hope you have a great night.
Good night, my dog. Okay, you too.
All right, Murdoch, let's go through some of these comments and see what people are saying in the chat. Scott says, Mike, I'd like to credit myself and DB with pushing you to make Midnight. Yeah, well, if you guys are super chatting and doing that stuff, it kind of puts me on the spot. I love it, but it does kind of give me that extra like oomph to go a little later. So I completely agree. I think you and DB are the guys who usually keep me on later than I should be on. And then Scott says, I need a yard goat hat. Yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome. All of them. Almost all of them are terrific. Novatera says, I wish the combine and free agency frenzy wasn't so far away from the draft. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you get a big lull in between, right, Murdoch?
No, yeah, well, I saw that pop up and I wanted to address it when you got to it. Nova, it's almost necessary. I mean, I agree. I wish it just came sooner rather than later, but after free agency, it totally alters teams' plans depending on who they're able to sign. So the needs you had 2 weeks ago might no longer be a need, at least with urgency. So they have to reevaluate their priorities. So, and it shouldn't take too long, though. I mean, it shouldn't be a month away or 6 weeks. Well, it's April 26th. So, I mean, if they made it like early April, that would probably be sufficient. But they do need some time to rework their strategies based on their signings.
Yeah, that's. I think it's like 6 weeks till the draft.
I think it's April 26th. So what are we at? March 15th today. So you're talking like another 6 weeks. Yeah. So maybe if they made it like 3 weeks from start of free agency, that would be better. Early April.
DB says we are 3 likes away from 50, which would be amazing because usually I'll hit 50 on some nights, but it'll be like, the show goes off the air and then, I wait and then like by the next day or the day after that, I'll hit the 50. If you guys are 3 away from 50, I think we can hit that considering we have almost 50 people in here right now. So do me the favor. If you haven't, go down and hit that thumbs up. If I see numbers going up and I see super chats and I see all this stuff, I'm going to stay on longer tonight. I mean, once again, I'm pretty tired, so I could go either way. And I know Murdoch is like, get off the air, Midnight Mike. I got an 8-hour stream ahead of me.
I don't know if I'm doing it.
But yeah, if DB says, what are we at 47 guys, let's do it. Let's do it. Hit that like button. But yeah, I think let's be honest. I think we had a great show because not only did we have Ian on, but then we were able to sneak in Midnight Mike Show trivia. We were able to do the top 5, and we were able to take calls. So I think that's awesome. Miguel, one more to go to 50. One more to go. Guys, let's do this. Let's do this. Can you hit the thumb, Mike? Probably. I love this. Rich knows how Lane types. Lane, what do you think about sports? Can Bobby Midnite call in? Yeah, he can call in anytime he wants. I'd have no problem putting him in his place. As a matter of fact, the funny thing is that I was talking to Bobby Midnite. I was messaging with him, and I said recently, and I said to him, I was like, Bobby, like you get so riled up, you get so pissed off about things, you get so upset and kick people off your show or whatever. Like when someone comes on, basically I asked him, when someone comes on to your show, like what and if someone comes on your show and busts your balls, basically, what do you say to them? And then he sent me this.
Be gone with him.
That's straight from the horse's mouth. So, I mean, he can call in whenever he wants. That's up to him. But he always says, be gone with him. You come in, you fuck with him. And that's where all that led from, Murdog. It led from me and Maddie messing with him that one night. And we pulled up his stream and we were just messing with him. And then he went off and he was like, fuck Mike, fuck Maddie, fuck all you. And Maddie's like, okay, I'm going to go off this show. I'm going to get on to Bobby's show and calm him down. And he did. And yet still, whatever. I like to bust balls. I bust Murdog's balls. I bust Maddie's balls. They bust my balls. Everyone in this fucking chat busts my balls constantly. So Bobby can come on whenever he wants. Whenever he wants. Feel free. I have no problem with that. Let's see here. DB says, Mike, I didn't know you worked 12-hour shifts on Saturday. No, I don't work them every Saturday. Last Saturday, I worked a 12-hour shift, and that was brutal. I get off of that shift, I come home, I hang out with my kids, I eat dinner, I put the kids to bed, I hop on here, and then did 3 hours. But it was. There we go. Thank you, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, during a live show, doesn't happen all the time, we hit 50 people. It's time to celebrate. Thank you, everybody. From me, from Maddie, from Murdog, from the Midnight Mike Show family tree. We want to thank you for getting us to 50 likes during a live stream. Yahoo!
I think that was me. I was like, wait, I don't know if I hit the like on the way.
That's okay. I don't care.
I went back and did it. On the phone.
And then later tonight, if I can hit the thumbs up, I'll do it. And I'll get us to 51.
Yeah.
How about that? Scott Foster says, Bobby caused some what did he do?
Wow.
What did he do? I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. Alex the Average. How you doing, Alex? Good to see you. She's one of the 6% of females who watch the show.
Nice.
How do you guys think the AFC
I need
East
more girls on my show.
What are you talking about? Your girlfriend's on your show. Well, she's in the chat.
She doesn't come on.
No, she doesn't go. I don't get girls actually calling into this show either, but they're in the chat. How do you guys think the AFC East is going to look this year? It's going to be Bills, Dolphins, and Jets and Patriots fighting it out for the last spot. What do you think, Murdoch?
It's pretty accurate. Patriots are getting better, which is the scary part.
That's what I said.
Yeah, and Drake May is going to be in year 3, so that sucks. But Justin Fields is going to – I think he's going to be better than people think. I don't know who else we could add at this point.
What do you think we get more than 5 wins with Justin Fields?
With that schedule, they should.
See, I disagree. I think the schedule is brutal.
Bring up the schedule. Do you have it handy?
Real quick. DB says, thanks for supporting the show, guys. Liking the video is free and helps support the channel. Absolutely. I don't have a schedule. I don't think the schedules were released, but I do think I have who we're playing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, maybe I don't. I might not. Oh, no, here it is. Okay. Dude, that's a little, in my opinion, that's brutal. Go through it. Tell me what you think.
Now, let's just say we could split easily with Miami and New England. Justin Fields' ability to
say easily.
We easily could split. That's what I'm saying.
No, we could easily split with the Patriots. I don't think
Why?
it's going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be easy to split with the Dolphins. I think they're a better team. I think they're going to be a better team this year.
We could split with them. We should beat Cleveland. We could beat the Falcons. We should beat the Panthers. We could beat Dallas. I don't know what's up with the Saints. I guess they're bringing Carr back. Jaguars. We should beat the Jaguars.
I think you're pushing it.
That's pushing it?
Yeah, I think you're pushing it.
With the Jaguars?
You want me to be realistic right now?
Yeah, always.
Realistically, we beat the Patriots once. We beat the Panthers. And that's that. Those are the only two games that I see are locks.
Oh, so so you think the Browns are going to beat us with a rookie quarterback?
I'd no. Okay, add the Browns. So Patriots, Browns, Panthers. Those are our locks.
Why can't we beat the Falcons? Why can't
we could? No. Now here's the thing: we could potentially beat the Falcons. We could potentially beat the Saints. We could potentially beat the Jaguars.
We're gonna beat the Jaguars,
but that's it. So even if we beat those teams, you have the Patriots. That's one. You have the Browns is 2. The Falcons is 3. The Panthers is 4. The Saints is 5, and maybe the Jaguars is 6. Like that's it.
What about Dallas? You don't think we could beat Dallas?
Yeah, we could. But like that, see, beating teams like Dallas or Tampa Bay or the Dolphins or the Patriots twice involves a lot of luck rolling in the Jets' favor, and I that never happens. That doesn't happen.
Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could see 6, 7 wins. I think we.
Yeah, I mean, I could see 5 to 6 wins. 7 might be pushing it. 7 means we beat a team we shouldn't have beat, and I don't see us doing that because it never falls to us. Murdoch, it never falls to us, man. Like whenever it's like, oh, we're evenly matched with this team. It could go either way. It always goes the other way. Like, and that's just the Jets' history. That's just the luck of the Jets. That's just what you deal with this team.
Well, we're going to beat the Broncos too. That's a given.
Oh yeah, well please, the Broncos, Bo Nix, fucking trash heap. Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm kidding. The Broncos are going to kill us.
I wouldn't say kill us. But you guys are just not appreciating what Justin Fields could do. It's going to be a different offense. It's going to be ball control, run heavy, RPOs, pick up the first down. Watch how many first downs Justin Fields picks up on 3rd and 8 that we wouldn't have got last year, or even 3rd and 2s.
I hope so.
Watch what his legs are going to do.
Dude, I'm rooting for us to go 9 and 8.
Sure, I'm rooting for us to win the Super Bowl, but I'm just saying
it's just not realistic.
I'm just saying you're going to have to prepare for a different style of offense with the makeup of our roster. We're going to have to play different than we have been, and it's going to be run heavy. That's how we win. Keep the defense off the field, chew the clock down as much as you can, and ball control. That's where we're going to win, and grind down defensive lines.
Scott says this is the rumor. Here it is. Oh, I guess it's not a rumor. Bobby called into Boy Green's show unhappy that Boy Green stole his idea of having several people on the show at the same time. Bobby seemed to think that he was the only one allowed to do it. You know what's hilarious about that? Somebody put in the Discord, or somebody said, I don't know where I saw it, but somebody sent me something of Bobby on Jake Asman's show telling Jake that the reason he doesn't like Midnite Mike is because I yelled at him for going on up against me. Okay. Now, which is funny because he has 15 people watching, and I always have 25, 30, tonight 50, during the season 60. So I don't care about that. But the time he was talking about was the time where we gave him shit, brought up his channel as a joke, made fun of him, busted his balls. And then Maddie went on and went, Bobby, we're not mad at you. We're just fucking with you. So Jake's sitting there being like, no one owns a time slot. Bobby, you could go on whenever you want. And it's like, almost like I want to go email or tell Jake, be like, Bobby has no fucking idea what he's talking about. But then I thought of it, and I was like, you know what? It's not worth my time with Bobby, Jake, or that whole crew. It's just not worth my time. It's like, but it's the same thing. So Bobby made up shit and on Jake's show about me being mad that he went up against me. That's literally like the NFL being upset that the CFL put up a game against them. But Bobby now is upset because someone else had multiple people. Has Bobby ever watched the fucking internet? Like, Jesus Christ.
It would be a lot better if everyone could just get along.
I agree.
It's too much high school bullshit that it's so unnecessary, and everybody should be friends and help each other and support each other. That's what I thought it was going to be. That's how it should be. So,
Murdoch, I've said it 1,000 times to you and other people.
Scenario, if everyone just gets along with each other,
there's
no need.
But Murdoch, I've said it to you and I've said it to Pete. I've said it on this show and I've said it privately to you. I've said it privately to DB and Maddie. When I joined Jets content creators, I did it because I thought it was a great community. I didn't realize that there was going to be people doing petty shit and talking behind people's backs and telling bullshit to other people. I didn't realize that shit was going to be happening. And now I'm apparently a part of it because Bobby and the few people who talk into his ear started all this shit. And now I'm involved. And it's like, I'm not involved because I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. But you're right. I wish it would just go back to like when I first started and I thought everybody got along. Like I thought we were all just Jets fans. But everybody needs to be pissed off at other people and start shit and all that. And it is what it is. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. We got to 50 likes, and that's awesome. Miguel Padilla, channel member, number one rule on the Midnight Mike Show: if no one busts your balls or if we ignore you, then we don't like you. Absolutely. If we ignore you, yeah, we don't like you. If we like you, we bust your balls. I call this guy Miguel Padilla because I'm busting his balls. And then people will still correct me and be like, it's Padilla. No shit, Sherlock. It's just what we do here. That's crazy to claim as your own. Yeah. It's funny though. I mean, it's funny. And once again, it's not fully Bobby's fault. It's the people around Bobby who get him riled up. And that's the problem, because Bobby doesn't know what he's doing most of the time. You know, it is what it is. Man, I saw this song played so many times at Oakland A's games after the final out. I'm assuming you're talking Celebration, Cool in the Gang, because that's the last song. Yeah, DB, it ain't gonna happen.
Why not?
We're not that lucky on a
They're
season.
not that good. I don't see us beating the Bills, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's not like, oh god, the fucking Dolphins. It's very well within striking distance of beating Patriots and Dolphins twice. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's not. The talent gap is not like big. We just need to be able to stop that run. But I'm telling you, watch. Don't sleep on Justin Fields and what he could do with his legs and make shit happen out of nothing.
I 100% hope you're right there, Murdoch. Things can change for the better. Leadership matters. Absolutely, Rich. I agree.
Hey, shout out to St. John's for winning the Big East tournament today.
Oh, did they win?
I was watching it before you went live, and I was fast forwarding through some of it to make sure I could end the show, end the game, and then get on here. Yeah, they were down 15 yesterday to Marquette and ended up with a 16-point lead. Like what a 31-point turnaround.
That's awesome.
Won the game, and then today in the finals, they were down early to Creighton, and they just took off. It was like 26-25 at the end of the first half, and then the final score, St. John's was it 80 points or something? Yeah, so they beat them by like double digits.
Real quick, yeah. Well, congratulations to St. John's. That's awesome. We get another Jets chant in the house. Here it is. Jets. Keep them coming, folks. Michael Lando comes in, channel member with $5, says, remember, it's not who you play in the NFL, it's when you play them. That's also true.
True statement.
Yeah, absolutely. And it also depends. Some teams get hot at certain points. Some people go in, it really does. That 100% makes complete sense. Here we go. Let me see here. Bobby was on Paul Boy Jet's show, and then And then other callers came on. Then Bobby get mad. Well, there it is. There's the report right there. Broncos are going to stomp your asses by 30. Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen.
What?
That's not going to happen.
Wait till we knock Bo Nix out for like 7 weeks.
Bo Nix will get knocked out before we even get to them. Miguel Padilla, my AFC East predictions: Bills 11-6, Jets 9-8, Dolphins 8-9, Pats 6-11. That's possible. That's not out of the realm of possibility.
Wow, that's a lot of wins. I hope for that, but 9 wins with that schedule. I just think we have a bunch of beatable teams on it, and then there's teams on it that we really don't have a chance. Like, I don't see us beating Cincinnati. I don't see us beating the Ravens. I don't see us beating the Bills. I don't see us beating the Bucks. That's 5 right there. Yeah, but like Lando said, it's when you play them. Like, Baker Mayfield could be out then when we play them, and you never know.
Alex comes in and says, what happens when Tua gets hurt and we have to play Zach Wilson? It would be so Jets for him to light us up. Yeah, Alex, at the top of the show, we talked about this, I think, last week, but in the top of the show in the first hour when we had Ian from Jet Central on, we were talking about this. I said that exact same thing, and I agree with you. I'm very scared because, let's be honest, Tua is going to go down. And when he does, Zach Wilson, it would be so Jets for Zach Wilson to go to my literal most hated team and light shit up, whether it's against us, against other teams, whatever. And that I definitely fear that. I'm being honest, because that would just you think my reaction videos were fucking crazy the last 2 seasons? Watch what happens when Zach Wilson is the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins and he lights up the Jets.
Yeah, but what would make you mad about that besides the Jets losing? Like,
because it's
like, want to keep him?
No, but I just want him to continue to be the shit pile he's always been, so that at least we go, okay, no problem. He was always a shit pile. But it's Jets luck, which is why Sam Darnold. Now, once again, never really had a problem with Sam Darnold. I was actually happy with what he did in Minnesota, and I never had a problem with Geno Smith. But the thing is, it's like Zach Wilson. It's like we drafted number 2. He played like a piece of garbage shitbag for like 3 or 4 seasons, whatever he played for us. And now him to go to of all teams, the Miami Dolphins. And if he lights it up, especially against the Jets, I'm going to go fucking through the roof.
Well, he's going to get Tyreek and Waddle to play with.
Are you sure he's going to get Tyreek? Tyreek has been talking shit about the Dolphins since last year.
But then he's still on the team right now. Obviously,
right now, Lazard's on the Jets right now, but that doesn't mean, yeah.
But he's just talking shit. He could have demanded a trade before free agency. He could have. He did hint to that, but it's like it felt like he retracted it.
Cowboys are in turmoil, definitely beatable. Fair enough. I'm not gonna. DJ, his predictions: Bills 13-4, Dolphins 9-8, Jets 5-12, Patriots 5-12. Once again, that's possible.
The Bills could easily sweep the division. I don't really see anybody putting up a fight. So that's 4 wins, right? 6 wins right there for them. That's a realistic 13-4, 12-5 is realistic for the Bills.
DJ, I don't know. I don't know why he was benched in Pittsburgh. He was like 4-2.
4-2.
He had like 5 or 6 rushing touchdowns and like 4 or 5 passing touchdowns.
He had 10 touchdowns created and 1 interception in 6 games.
Yeah, and he was 4-2.
Maybe they thought the offense should be scoring more. I don't know. But yeah, stop trying to fix what's not broke. If you're 4-2,
DB is literally taking magic mushrooms. Like literally, he took them about an hour ago, and now he's hallucinating and thinking that Bo Nix is going to have 350 yards and 3 TDs against the Jets. Get the fuck out of here. You're out of your mind. Yeah, let's see that happen, DB. That's ridiculous.
DB's on the shit list tonight.
Looks like that Bobby Midnite guy has been picking fight. Guys, we don't need to keep it's over. I appreciate it, DB. But but he's been doing that for a long time. Like you say one thing and he flips out. And that's why I just don't deal with him anymore. If he wants to call and apologize, I have no problem with that. Hell yeah. Ricardo, Bills fan. Boy, you guys Bills fans, man. Love you guys. What's up, AFC's family? How you doing, Ricardo? I hate the Bills, but you're welcome here, buddy. Anytime. I found this show during Broncos Jets week last year and have been watching ever since. And not only that, but you've been an awesome friend, an awesome contributor, awesome everything. So DB, man, 100%. Even though you refuse to call into my show, I appreciate it.
He doesn't call into mine either anymore.
Miguel says Midnight Mike Show has been the best Jets community. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's much appreciated. I try. Like I said, if you don't mind busting balls, you don't mind talking shit to each other, and you don't mind going off the rails and talking about, what have we talked about? Horse cock. We've talked about the ladies.
Old trusty horse cock.
Yeah, the horse cock has kind of become a thing.
Yeah, it's a staple. Staple of the show.
DJ says, I agree with fucking with each other. Go Bills. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Josh Allen wasn't the MVP. Remember that.
Yeah, it's like we know football.
Lamar Jackson had better stats across the board. It was because they felt bad. They watched him. They watched Josh Allen in January crying on the sidelines for the 5th straight year, and they were like, let's throw him a bone. His offensive line already bought him a gaudy necklace. Let's throw him a bone. I'll never forget Bobby busting Mike's balls on the match games. I didn't realize that there was going to
probably happen.
Okay. No, well, that happened in the chat. And I kind of expected it, but didn't actually believe it when he did it. It was strange. Yeah, no, I did. Mike, he says Mike busted my balls last night on the Danger Zone. I'm watching Dano's show. By the way, he's never around anymore. I tune into his show more than he tunes into my show. Tell him to go fuck himself.
He's never been on mine.
Yeah, tell Dano to go fuck himself.
Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding.
Dano.
No, but I'm watching, and Dano has his nice little setup. Everything's how you are, how I am, and Murph, same thing. Everything. Scott is like, welcome to the Scott Foster Show, folks, where I take up literally 1/3 of the screen, and you guys just have to do. And now the only problem is that at least on mine, you have a lot of fun things to look at in the background. Scott is in front of a white wall, so it's literally white wall everywhere. And then I'm even too high.
You hush your butt. You leave Scott Foster alone.
There we go. That's closer to Scott. I'm going to do the rest of the show like this. This is the Scott Foster Show, folks. Welcome. I appreciate you being here. I'm off the grid. I live in the woods.
You guys those bears, for fuck's sake.
This is actually extremely uncomfortable. Oh, God. Ah. Scott, I don't know how you do it. I guess
Scott Foster is a national treasure. You leave him alone.
I love Scott. He knows I love him because if I didn't, I wouldn't bust his balls like this. That's just how it works on this show.
Scott is Wilson from Home Improvement.
Yeah. I mean, almost.
Funny, DB.
All right. Oh, boy. What a show tonight. I definitely appreciate all you guys being in here. Let me pop to the most recent chats. Let me pop to the most. Mike, Dane has a girl now. What the fuck? Who cares? I've been with my wife for 17 years. How does that change that I still am able to get into his comments section and be like, hey, man, how you doing tonight? He has a girl now. So basically what you're telling me is that because Dano is basically like a middle school boy. Because remember when you'd get a girlfriend back in middle school, all of a sudden you'd stop hanging out with your friends, and then your friends would be like, yo, bro, where have you been? And you'd be like, I'm with my girlfriend. And they'd be like, but you don't hang out anymore.
Finger popping away.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you were, but I wasn't finger popping in middle school.
I was the best finger blaster. Tremendous.
Lando, Mr. Calrissian, you got to give these people a break. That's part of what makes my show different. that we accept all these other jabronis from the Broncos and the Bills and all these other teams. These lame ass teams that aren't as good as the Jets. It's part of the show. Dano dropped a chat 2 days before you went live. He said he has been watching your show for a year now. I guess. Yeah, Scottavision.
I have a question for the Bills fans. How many times can you win the division and then get knocked out in the first and second round of the playoffs before the Buffalo Bills Mafia revolts on Josh Allen? I just want to know their tolerance for
not even necessarily Josh Allen, but look what's going on in Pittsburgh.
That's a legit question.
Everyone's turning on Mike Tomlin, so why wouldn't they? When is there going to be a turn, whether it's on Josh Allen or their coaching staff or their ownership or whatever, where it's literally become a tradition to watch them fail in the playoffs and not make it to the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship game?
Well, I mean, I agree. This year they got fucked by the refs in Kansas City, but it's always like they're just one piece short. They're right there.
Yeah, but I bet $1 million you'd love to have Josh Allen as your Jets QB. Yeah, sure. But that doesn't mean that. But once again, just like on the Bills, he's not going to win it big for us. It's just that's like his MO. Like Josh Allen is like the Hillary Clinton of the NFL. They get to there, they get close, but then Barack Obama makes you look like an asshole, and then a couple years later, Donald Trump makes you look like an asshole. So that's kind of like what Josh Allen does. Josh Allen comes in and gets them far, and then Lamar Jackson makes him look like an asshole, or fucking Patrick Mahomes make you look like an asshole. Joe Burrow makes you look like an asshole. So, it's just somebody.
In defense of Josh Allen, you have to admit that the refs have fucked the Bills multiple times in the playoffs when they play the Chiefs. That's a fact.
It is what it is.
Well, I was just legitimately asking, because I don't know the temperature.
I'm all for the Kansas City refs if it means them beating the Buffalo Bills.
I'm the opposite.
Show him the horse. Who might make you feel dirty?
Mike has Horsecock queued up at all times.
Oh, are you Murdoch now? Like Trevor Murdoch?
I fucking Ratcliffe called me Murdoch earlier too. That seems to be like my pseudonym. One time some guy called into a show to try to talk tough, and he was like, "Who is this murder dog guy?" I was like, what? Okay.
Miguel Kivson says Jets fans threshold to turn on the coach and a QB is about 4 games. Yeah, that tracks. Yeah, I mean, and sometimes even less. Sometimes even less. Josh Allen is the modern day Dan Marino. Nobody is worried about him winning a ring.
Well, he could run. Marino couldn't run at all.
Joey Bosa is not the missing piece. He's going to be great. I mean, it's a great player to have, but that's not your missing piece as to why you never win a Super Bowl.
I'm shocked he didn't go to San Francisco with his brother when he had the chance. Because they wanted to play together, I'm pretty sure. He had every opportunity.
Scott. All right, Murdoch. I'll go 3 more minutes just so I can add a 5th.
Oh, God. Look at him fucking padding his stats.
This is definitely going to be padding some stats.
Padding the fucking well, you know what? Doesn't count. Since you're fraudulently going to midnight.
How is going to midnight officially fraudulent?
Because you were trying to end the show, but now you're like, fuck, I'm so close. Let me just get to pad the stat.
Excuse me. If I would have said that at 11:20, 11:30, and I said, I'm just going to fucking bullshit for 30 minutes just to get, it's 11:58.
I know.
Yeah. So I'm going to make it to midnight. Dude, even if I popped you off now and did our normal goodbye.
Right.
And then I did my normal outro and played the Jets music, I'd still get to midnight.
Yeah, you would. You're good.
Okay, so once again, it's like Midnight Mike has come out in full force, and you guys still give me shit. So basically, everyone could go fuck themselves. How about that?
I just think you're cognizant of it that you want to get to midnight, so you could try to tell us we're wrong.
Oh, we got it. Hell yeah, guys. Here we go. Jets chant. First Scott. Jets.
This is the routine. Gotta hit you. DB will hit you.
Ask Mike's
Lando
wife.
already hit you. You know.
Ask Mike's wife if he could go 3 minutes. Not always. Sometimes it's just wham bam, thank you, ma'am. It's like one thrust.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. I don't have time. I don't have time for that. I gotta get in, get out, and then go outside and watch YouTube.
And is she on board with that, or?
Oh yeah, she's fine with it.
She's like, all right, get the fuck off me.
She's been with me for 17 years. She's clearly fine with it.
I know it's not getting any bigger.
Murdoch, DB's happy you're going at me. That's fine.
I'm not going at you. It's
two pump chump.
Yeah, lie though.
Hell yeah, let's hit that Jets chant. Jets. Mr. Miguel Padilla comes in and gifts a Midnight Mike Show channel membership. Thank you very much, Miguel. I appreciate that. We haven't done that much this month, so I definitely appreciate that. We definitely got to get some more gifted channel memberships in the house, just so more people can see, the Tuesday night show after it comes down, and the extra stuff I
even
do.
in lieu of a super chat, the membership might be more beneficial.
Yeah, sometimes I'm sure. I mean, but if people have something they want to say, then you super chat.
That's true,
yeah, I get it. Rich is enjoying the night. I appreciate that, man. Hey, listen, like I said, I know you said you're not up late often, but Tuesday nights we start at 9:30. Saturday nights we start at 9. And and that's another thing. Tuesday night we continue with our draft, and I want to let everybody know who didn't know while you're here. Tuesday night we had our first official Jets all-time draft, and our position was quarterback. And these were our guys. I ended up taking Vinny Testaverde, Mark Sanchez, Boomer Esiason, and Aaron Rodgers. Maddie took Kenny O'Brien, Chad Pennington, Brett Favre, and Geno Smith. And Murdoch in the 3 position took Joe Willie Namath, Broadway Joe, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Richard Todd, and Pat Ryan. And once again, Maddie won the vote that night. He got the 3 points. I got second. I got the 2 points. Murdoch got the 1. But Murdoch got his revenge tonight because Ian from Jet Central, he picked your quarterback room. Are you happy about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely happy that somebody stuck up for my picks, especially picking from the 3 spot with the worst category to pick from. You're leaving me like nothing to choose, but I think I still made it work. But I was trying to lay out my case for my team. And it's over because, I
backed you up even when you picked Fitzpatrick. I brought up those stats from that season.
Well, it's just like people go based on names, and I think some people might have voted based on like overall careers. But I mean, Pat Ryan with the last pick, how do you not give credit to the all-time wins leader as quarterback?
Well,
nobody fucking knew that.
Well, and something else you brought up is that Namath and Fitzpatrick are the 2 single season leaders in yards for the New York Jets.
One Super Bowl, and we all know Fitzpatrick was good that year, and this was single season stuff too as well, right? So, and Richard Todd, I mean, most people don't know Richard Todd, 16 wins, 8 losses over 2 years with 1 tie, got us 2 playoff wins, which is rare in Jets world. 2 playoff wins.
Well, guys, this Tuesday night, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, we are going to be drafting all-time Jets running backs. And this time I'm in the 3 slot. Maddie's picking first, Murdoch second, and then I, like I said, am in the 3 spot going from there. And I think we all know who Maddie's going to take at number 1, because if you don't take him at number 1, you're fucking insane.
Well, then I'm taking him at 2.
Yeah, because there's no way he's falling to 3. I'll tell you that. But yeah, please.
I'll follow my board.
Yeah, please join us Tuesday night, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time for the Midnight Mike Show, all-time NFL draft. And like I said, this week coming up on Tuesday, we do running backs. So that should be fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the numbers have been great tonight. While you are still in here, please hit the thumbs up button and get us as high as we can. I'd love to go out there. I know we got to 50, which that was worthy of a celebration, which we had. And also, if you missed our conversation with Ian from Jet Central, do me a favor. When we get off the air, I'd love for you guys to go check that out and leave comments below, because it's so weird. It's like you get hundreds of comments during a live show, and then the show goes off, the air, and it shows up on your YouTube feed, and it says like 4 comments. And it's like, yeah, but I had hundreds during the live show. And it's like, so when this show goes off the air, guys, head over there and drop some comments, things like that. If you rewatch the segment with Ian, if you rewatch, we did the Midnight Mike Show trivia tonight. If you rewatch when we did the top 5 90s television shows during the intermission report, give me your thoughts after the show goes off the air in the comments section. I'd really appreciate it.
Great job. Chet did a great job with the 90s TV shows. Like, there was a lot that we missed that they picked up the slack on.
Oh, absolutely.
They did a great job as usual.
Let me just go through these, see who's left in here. DB, T Dobbs, Rich, Miguel. Let's see here. Who else do we got?
Alex, the average, coming in with a super chat.
Are you kidding me? Okay, now we have to talk a little bit more. Jets. Alex, you pulled it off. You found the way to put in a topic that I'm so motivated to talk about, that I've been trying to get a show off on this channel, like a side show about 80s and 90s pop culture and horror. And obviously you have noticed that I've got Michael Myers behind me. I've got Jason behind me. I've got Chucky behind me. I've got tons of horror inspired stuff. Yes, the best horror franchise of all time is Halloween, and it's because of those first 3 movies, in my opinion. Halloween 1, 2, and Season of the Witch 3. Now other ones have been good throughout, but I think if I had to say the best horror franchise as far as the first one to the last one, where they all kind of stay at the same level or somewhat high, is Scream. I think Scream 1, 2, 3, or I'm sorry, 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 and 7 are all great. The only stinker, in my opinion, is 3. Whereas with the Halloween franchise, although it's my favorite, Halloween 5 is kind of I love the producer's cut of Halloween 6. H2O isn't bad. Resurrection with Busta Rhymes is I can't, sometimes I can't even watch that. Rob Zombie's Halloween is okay, the first one, although it completely ruins why Michael Myers is scary to begin with. Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie is a fucking pile of burning shit. And then that new trilogy that came out, Halloween 2018 was decent. Halloween Kills was decent, but and then the last one, Halloween Ends, was trash. So like Scream doesn't have one where I'm like, that one's absolute trash. Scream 3 was like, meh. But I love the Friday the 13th series. I love the Chucky series. Just all of it. I love. Damn, I gotta do a horror show. I gotta find a horror person to talk about horror with. Maybe Alex. Maybe
Scott
Alex.
Foster. You missed Scott Foster super chatted you too. Scroll up a little bit.
Scroll up.
Yeah, scroll up. You missed a super chat. There you go.
Jets chat.
Most accurate statement of the night.
Jets. Scott Foster with 199 says Mike's wife wishes he was 2 a.m. Mike. I don't even know what that means.
That you would be on here till 2 a.m. so you leave her alone.
Oh, okay. She's probably been asleep for a couple hours. I'll be honest with you. There's a very good chance that's the case here. But guys, I really appreciate all you guys being in here. Murdog, what is your plan here?
I don't know. You know me, I could always go live and do a draft, but I like when people actually call in to do the draft. So I don't know who's willing to do that. If someone's willing to call in and wants to do the draft like on camera like us, then I can go on and we could do one for somebody. I'm trying to
DB, no, I know that. I got the ones up. The problem is that if I don't look over and see like the number has gone up on the super chats, it doesn't click. But I get it. I get it. I understand. Let's see. You might be in the select 2% that liked Season of the Witch. No, Alex. Let me explain something real quick. First and foremost, here's my Silver Shamrock Season of the Witch Silver Shamrock novelty mask. I have that also. That movie got a lot of shit when it came out. But as of recent, it has gained a huge following over the past like 10 years to the point where the merchandise for Halloween 3 is off the fucking charts. Like I have PJ pants from Halloween 3. They have countless amounts of t-shirts. If you've seen Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, you know that the Silver Shamrock factory is in Loleta, something like that, California. But recently, most of it has been knocked down. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a brick from the Silver Shamrock factory. I had it sent by the owner of the building with a certificate of authenticity signed by the Lolita Creamery. And this is a brick from the actual Silver Shamrock factory in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Yes, I am a huge fan of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Who's the nerd now?
Oh, if you're talking about horror, I'm the fucking nerd. If you're talking horror, I'm the fucking nerd. Believe me. The Jets content guy I love to hate is Jake Assman. I only stay on there long enough to get timeout blocked. Yeah, once again, I don't know if that's a gimmick or not, but that's just not what we do here. That's the only difference between Jake. Well, there's a bunch of differences. I'll be honest. Like they keep on point most of the show, and I get that. Like if you want to watch a Jets show where it's constantly talking about whatever the point is of the day in Jets content, he will talk about it for 2 hours, and he's great at it. And he'll bring in people and talk about it. That's great. But he does block people and ban people and stuff a lot, and that's just not my style. Just not my style. I like Jake. I have no problem with Jake.
Yeah.
I had him on the show.
Jake has a good show. Like he does a good job. Some of the stuff's funny, for sure. I've enjoyed a lot of it. Yeah, but the banning stuff, I mean, the joking around part of it is funny, but then the serious ones, because you don't agree with someone's take or they said something stupid, I mean, you'll be banning people all day.
Yeah.
That's the case. But overall, he does a great job.
Yeah, 3 more days till Halloween. Damn right, Lando. And DJ, good night. Have a good night, man. Murdoch, how do I connect to your live stream? You just got to go. I don't know if he's going live after this, but it's _Jet stream.
Yeah, I'll drop the link to. I mean, make sure if you're not subbed to the channel, hook a brother up and.
Oh, DB already dropped it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, right after.
I had it sitting in the comment, waiting to press enter until the right time. But thanks, DB. Yeah, and we also have a Discord. See, if you're in the Discord, then you get notified as well. I mean, if your notifications aren't on YouTube, at least if you're in the Discord, it'll let you know when I drop something. But and I could definitely use a lot of help there. Like I've been dropping videos like on the free agent signings, and then a couple hours later, I'm like 15 views. That's it. And then later on, you're in. I break 100, and more people view it later. But what I notice is, and what sucks is, I'm a small channel, and I'll drop a video, and then opinions or info that I throw out in my video then gets put on someone else's more well-known channel that they see it on their channel, but I said it a day before or 4 hours earlier. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm a little channel, so I get skipped over, and I always hate, like, when it comes to like takes, right? I always give people credit for their good takes. But if I'm going to use somebody else's stuff, I always give them credit for, like, hey, I was watching this guy's show and I heard him make a great point, blah, blah, blah. I don't use it as it's my own thought. You know what I mean? But I noticed that a lot. I don't want to get too deep in the woods here, but I've seen to where people basically copy and paste someone's thoughts and push it out.
Yeah, and it's not a big deal to talk about what someone else said. You
Not
can
hard to
say,
give somebody
and then
credit.
give them credit or say, I heard it on this show, you know.
Not hard at all.
Yeah, not at all. Alex, I might have to have you on as my new horror co-host. Like, seriously. She says the masks are dope. I agree there. This is another thing I have. This is the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch box set action figures. You got the 3 masks on the side, the silver shamrock on the back, and then obviously when you open it up, it comes with, well, first off the back, they make it look like an old like Kmart catalog of like the masks and the outfits, but you actually have the action figures of the 3 trick-or-treaters. You got the pumpkin, the witch, and the skeleton. They all come with extra heads. They come with the silver shamrock television that flashes the silver shamrock logo and the pumpkin. I don't know how you get the pumpkin to show, but yeah, I'm telling you, I am a massive fan of Season of the Witch, and Tom Atkins, the star of that. I mean, he just needs to save some pee for the rest of us because he's slaying it all over the place. Not only in Halloween 3, but in I think in the remake of My Bloody Valentine, in The Fog. Like he nails Jamie Lee. He picks up Jamie Lee Curtis on the side of the road as a hitchhiker, and within 10 minutes he's banging her. Like, Tom Atkins is the man. Everyone needs to know it. And Scott lived there. That's awesome, man. Look, I it's hard for me to travel out to California. Like, that's a long trip because I hate planes. But if I ever get to California, that Loletta is on my list of places that I want to visit. T-Dubs, Mike, let me know when you're going to do a top 5 car chases. I'll make sure to tune in.
There's some good ones for that.
Alex, I'm telling you, it's you just have to like it. I love movies that end like, it's so rare for a movie to end where the bad shit happens and the movie ends on a down note. And I feel like it's such a relief. It's such a sigh of relief when a movie ends where you're like, oh shit, it ended like people are fucked. And that's what Halloween 3 is for me. No, I haven't seen the new one yet, but I'm a huge fan of the original, 1920 or 1919 or 1922 Nosferatu. So it is what it is. But all right, seriously, guys.
Oh, real quick, Alex, I don't know if Mike told you yet, but we got the Midnight Jury coming.
I'm hoping. I'm having a hard
28.
Murdog, I'm having a hard fucking time getting in touch, getting this all together, but I am trying to bring back my original podcast, which was the Midnight Jury. We did it for 10 years, and I've even redesigned the logo and everything to just try and get this going. There it is. And it's basically an hour or 2 show where we watch a movie, not on the show. We watch a movie, then we come on the show and we talk about the movie. We break down the movie. And then at the end, we are the jury. So we give it a school letter grade and decide its fate, basically. So I'm trying to do something like that, but it's tough to get it going. But I might just need to fuck all you guys and just, like I said, just have Alex on. She knows her horror.
Yeah.
Dog, you're an integral part of the Midnight Mike show. Yes, he is.
Aw. Thanks, T-Dubs. I spelled your name wrong in the chat. Typos. I got the big, giant, clunky keyboard down here that it doesn't seem to register every single click. All
right, folks. It's I'm 12:17, Mike, tonight. It's probably gonna be 12:20 by the time the show actually goes. But Murdog, thank you for being on. I appreciate it, and I will see you Tuesday night.
Yes, sir. If anybody wants to do a mock draft and be the one on camera with me, let me know in the Discord or somehow get a hold of me and I'll go live. Or maybe I'll just go live and you could hop in and then do it because there's some people interested. But otherwise, Mikey, good one, brother. See you Tuesday. Chat, be good. Eagles fan, nice to see you. All right, guys, have a good one.
Have a good one. Eagles fan, you showed up late. Where were you, buddy? Where were you? Have a great night, Eagles fan. I appreciate it. Mike, those minutes don't roll over. No, they don't roll over. I get it. Michael Landau, good night, all. Alex, thanks, guys. Thank you for being here, Alex. I appreciate that. T-Dobbs, thank you for being here. Guys, it is time. We've done a over 3-hour show. I don't know how that fucking happened, but it's because of all your guys' support. It's because of this community that I ended up going this late. And so it just goes to show you that, you know, if you want Midnight Mike to stay on late, All you got to do is, you know what? Alex had the key tonight. You bring up some horror. I'm such a huge horror fan, and I don't have anybody in my life except for my daughters to talk about it with. And all my friends are still in New Jersey, and I'm on the Long Island Sound up here in Connecticut. So I love talking horror, and Alex hit that. She somehow was just like, let me get Mike to stay on for another half hour. Boom. She did it. But that's it here from the Long Island Sound. It's warming up. Spring is coming. I'm excited. Thank you so much for being a part of the show, because all you guys in the comments section, Murdoch brought it up when we did our top 590 shows. You guys helped contribute as much as me and Murdoch, bringing up a bunch of shows that we forgot. So that was awesome. I had a great time. So for me, Murdoch, and Maddie, I am Midnight Mike. And when I get off the air, I'd love you guys. Once the show's off the air, come back and write a comment. Write a comment down below this video. I'd really appreciate that, especially if you go back and watch Ian. Ian from Jets Central was on earlier, and he's been on the show a couple times last off season, and we're probably going to have him on one more time in this off season at least. I don't want to push it because he's busy, I'm busy, whatever. But it is what it is, and I had a great time tonight. Thank you for joining me. I am your late night New York Jets host, Midnight Mike, and I can't wait to see you next time. I didn't realize that I was going to talk through most of that ending song. So it is what it is. I know, Scott, we definitely need another movie night, but I got nailed for that. I had to pull it down. Once again, it's a pain in the butt. The only way I'm going to be able to do another movie night is if you guys all sync up your videos with me. Like I could probably have it playing on the screen behind me, but I can't keep the audio up the way I did for that Scream watch along. So it is what it is. Eventually I am going to cut that Scream watch along down to like a 10-15 minute video and put that out. But guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Once again, I'm out. It's been real. Let's get pumped up. Let's try to keep our spirits high for the New York Jets this season. And let's hope that Aaron Glenn can pull this one off. Have a good night, everybody.
First SportsCenter breaking news.
The New York Jets are hiring their former player, Aaron Glenn, as their next head coach.
Turn the music on! Aaron Glenn.
12th pick in this first round select Aaron Glenn, defensive back, Texas A&M.
Every time you put your feet on the ground that morning, you felt like you was winning that game. At some point, man, we got to draw the line in the sand. Say enough is enough. Compete, man, compete! Compete!
And Aaron Glenn has a little attitude about him that I think is made for being in New York. He has an attitude that I think he's going to be honest with you. He's going to hold you accountable every single second.
Winning. Time to get that feeling back. Y'all dig what I'm saying?